The Bears drop back-to-back games and back into the number 2 seed. But time to turn the page. It's Packer week. We're going to break it all down next with you.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
And welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Halas Hangover. Unfortunately, not a Victory Monday, but hopefully we have a Victory Monday next week. We got a lot to talk about because this game was confusing, distressing, a few things that come to mind. But the slow starts are one thing that we've talked about on this show a bunch of times, and had different conversations about being sustainable, and they're starting to become unsustainable. 3 out of your last 5 comeback attempts have been fails. You're 1-4 in your last 4 comeback attempts after starting slow. Same thing in the press conference today. Hey, we got to get out faster. We got to get out faster. Is it even plausible for the Bears to start any faster? I don't know, because we haven't seen it outside of the Cleveland Browns game where they got it going and started moving this ball. But they better get some answers because the Packers will be ready on Saturday. So, boys, how we doing today? Kyle, Brandon, Dustin, we're all here together.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, man? How you doing, Sean?
I'm a little tired. My stomach's a little messed up, so hopefully I make it through this show without having to start on you guys.
I was just thinking the same thing. That's weird. my tummy, I feel like I got food poisoning the other day. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, I'm wondering, we partied pretty hard on Saturday. I know you guys aren't dart guys, but I had a bunch of my dart buddies over, and we watched the World Dart Championship final and wound up getting pretty shit-kicked on Saturday, a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But, yeah, it is what it is. So,
well, Sean, in regards to the slow start, man, I mean, that's really the key, right? When you talk about the fact that the Bears got into the second quarter, when they started their third position, it was what, like four and some change left. That was their third possession of the game at that point. And at that point, they had 11 offensive plays, and the Lions had 34. And as you said, that's not sustainable. I don't know. It's a combination of game plan, execution, and the defense really, trying to obviously do their job and shut down your offense. It comes down to the defense for me, man. When the defense is getting gashed the way it is, allowing first downs consistently, allowing that time of possession throughout that game, 34 plays to 11, like your offense is never going to get into a rhythm. One thing that I saw, I was rewatching the game today, man. I just want to throw it out here to you guys. There were 4 plays in a row where Caleb made a check on that first drive. 3 out of 4 of them, for sure, he checked from a pass to a run. And it looked to me like that's what the defense wanted him to do. Those runs netted a total of like 6 yards. They ended up punting. And then you just wonder, like, did Ben want him to check out of those? Because, like, Caleb obviously has the autonomy to do that if he sees the 2 high safeties and you think you might have a better, go against the run. But I think that's what the Lions wanted them to do. And I think it played right into their hands. And that's why it kind of felt like they weren't passing very much in that first half, because Caleb kind of took him out of it. He thought he was doing the right thing, but that offensive line wasn't executing their blocks, and the Lions were ready for the runs, man.
Yeah, I think when any problem, I was telling you guys this yesterday, when any problem exists on an NFL team for the entirety of a season, coaching's got to get something figured out. Because you can say it's on this, that, or the other, but we see at the end of every game what this team is capable of. And they make it look easy. It's the worst part, is they need an astronomical amount of points with an astronomical little amount of time left, and they do it. So it's like, get it, Ben. Get it out of there. Get it out of there in the first, the second, the third. I don't know what's going on here. This is his responsibility to fix. It is. You can't look any other way. And he's a
So,
young
but
coach.
in what I just described, though, if you're Ben Johnson, are you just telling Caleb, don't check out on my plays? Like, is that the solution?
I think if you don't
'Cause
trust
that's what he
Caleb to be making the right decision, it all comes to you, man. It doesn't matter if Caleb's not doing something he's not supposed to be. That's on you. I mean,
Well, I
it's
mean,
always,
I think that's what he's supposed to do. I mean, based on how the defense is aligned,
I don't know.
he's
We
doing
had this
what he's supposed to
conversation
do.
yesterday, man. There is just no other way to view this. If a problem persists an entire year, the coaching hasn't fixed it. It's their job. It's not fixed. And we can say that Ben Johnson's a rookie head coach, which I appreciate, but you have to think, guys, if this problem persists into next season, something's fucking wrong. And you have to start wondering. I mean, it's a problem. Sean, you cannot win for the duration of the sustainable success you expect to have if this is something that persists. And it's not the players don't all come out forgetting how to play football for 3 quarters. There's something wrong with the plan here. There's something wrong with the way
team
they
across from
approach
them knows how to
each
play
game.
football too, Brandon. That's the thing.
Mhm.
The defense's job is to
But
shut
what you're
down
telling
your
me is
game
that
plan.
the coaching staff is doing a good job at adjusting at half to then be a better team.
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
second.
believe. Yeah.
But you need to adjust
What it looks
in
like.
game.
No,
You have
it
to
seems
adjust
to me
the
that
entire football
Ben
game.
Johnson has a tough time adjusting in the moment. Now, Vizzo Joe is throwing out here what a lot of Bears fans have been saying, Kyle, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. Like the game plan was vanilla, and it wasn't a very hard game plan, according to Ben Johnson in his press conference. Was he holding back in that playoff game? Was Dennis Allen holding back? I find that really hard to believe because this defense has been trash all year. It's like, what are you trying to hide? You've been shitty all year. So I don't know. But Kyle, do you give that any credence that Ben Johnson was just kind of waiting for the playoffs and keeping it real simple and plain?
I don't know. The entirety of the game to me was a conundrum. I mean, first of all, Ben came out at halftime and said this is the most simple game plan we ran all season in terms of the offense
Yeah,
side
that's
of
the
the
word
ball,
he used. Simple.
and the Bears just couldn't seem to execute it. Now, listen, but Tom Brady talked about it ad nauseum. The Lions came out and started playing a bunch of zone coverage, which they normally do not do. They were trying to confuse Caleb. He looked confused. I just said last week that I believe that San Francisco 49ers game is probably the best of Caleb Williams' career. Then here we are a week later, and I could say that game against the Lions was probably the worst of his career. And you know what? I think that interception he threw was probably the worst throw of his NFL career so far. And now listen, I know he's thrown interceptions before, but that was double coverage, and that ball
was covered over and it was covered.
It was never going to get to DJ. It was never going to happen. He has other throws, like the pick he threw last year when he was trying to get DJ Moore wide open in the end zone and he just underthrew it, or the pick against Green Bay. He made the right read. He threw the right ball. He just didn't throw it. He didn't put enough steam on it, enough gas on it. That was just a bad throw on Sunday against the Lions. That was, to me, looked like a desperation throw. If you rewatch that play, Durham Smythe is open in the
wide open in the middle, 20 yards down the field.
That's a first down. The Bears just looked like first of all, they came out, they looked very lethargic to me, complacent. They looked disinterested. I don't know if this is the fact that the Bears had already made the playoffs, but I mean, after they were allowing big plays, the defense would just kind of slap their hands together and be like, oh, shucks, instead of holding each other accountable, getting back to the line of scrimmage, showing emotion, showing intensity. They just looked very lethargic to me. They looked like they didn't care about that game. Now, maybe it's because the Bears are already in the playoffs, but I can't imagine that Ben Johnson didn't want that game against his old team, the Detroit Lions.
And didn't want the 2 seed because that wasn't guaranteed either. The Eagles were playing at the same time as you. You didn't know if they were going to win or lose.
You're still playing for seeding. Ben said, we're going to play football no matter what. We're not benching our guys. Well, if you're telling Caleb not to run because you don't want him to get hurt, and you're saying, oh, we're running a simple game plan because we're not going to show anything.
Don't have them in there.
Then sit your guys. Then bench your guys. Like if that's the plan, then bench the guys, man.
But that doesn't. I agree, Kyle, and that doesn't really jive with how they were after. Ben was pissed off after the game.
He
was pissed off.
Caleb and Ben were pissed.
So, Sean, do you buy into that they weren't trying to win that game? Like,
I'll be honest. I texted Kyle this during the game. I said, it looks like the Bears are trying to avoid Green Bay. It's the way it looked like to me.
It seemed like the Eagles were too, right?
It seems like everyone's scared of the Packers for some reason, but I did notice that it wasn't the same game plan we've seen. There was a lot of repeat concepts out there, a lot of isolation stuff that you just don't see out of Ben that often yesterday. So I thought it was really weird, and I think he was just thinking that they would take advantage of this weak defense and be able to score some points. And I think that could have been why he was pissed, because let's be honest, T even said it and they've been talking about it. This was a practice squad for the Lions on the field yesterday. And
on the defensive side of the ball, yes.
Yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, not the offensive side.
And we didn't even attack them, Sean.
They didn't, and that's the other thing.
That.
You waited to attack downfield to late in the fourth quarter, like
against their weakest unit.
Well, that's what it goes back to for me, though, guys. Is that's what I'm saying. Like the Lions completely controlled that first half. 34 plays to 11 by the time the Bears had their third possession, guys. That is astronomical in terms
I'll be honest,
the imbalance. The Bears defense played a whole big role in how that offense couldn't get going too, guys. It is a three-phase game. The complementary aspect was not there yesterday.
The Bears also abandoned the run again. And
I was just going to say,
you got to establish yourself.
Run blocking sucked.
You got to be a more physical football team than the team across from you if you're going to win the playoffs. Listen, guys, the Bears had 33 pass attempts to 18 rush attempts. That's not going to win the games of the playoffs. Yesterday was January 4th, guys. It's cold. The Lions are banged up. You're the more physical team. You're healthy. Go beat the shit out of them at the line of scrimmage. Even if you have to stay committed. The Bears, it's not like the Bears, this game was out of hand. It's not like it was 22-0 going into the third quarter. The Bears still had plenty of time. They could have committed to the run, and they could have gone for more fourth down, given themselves more fourth downs and more opportunities and gone for it. I think they should have gone for it at the end of the game, as the defense had proven they weren't going to stop anybody. I know a lot of people are coming out on Instagram and Twitter and saying that Dennis Allen this, Dennis Allen that. Guys, people were mad that Dennis Allen not getting out of man coverage. Well, guys, we saw what the Bears looked like in zone coverage against the Niners. They looked better against the Lions than they did against the Niners. I mean, not much better, but I think right now Dennis Allen's just at a loss. He just doesn't have.
They're not good in either, Kyle.
They're not. But he doesn't have speed.
When they shut them down in the red zone, they were mostly in zone. When they got the interception, they were in zone. Jaquan Brisker cannot cover man-to-man. Jaquan Brisker made a hell of a play on that interception.
Jaquan Brisker can't cover anything.
Well, I mean, he's better in zone.
Not good in man.
Jared Goff's interception was in zone.
Brandon?
Jalen Johnson's not good in man.
All right, so I'm just going to clarify.
The cornerbacks in general.
I'm going to clarify this with Jalen Johnson because I'm honestly, guys, everybody ripping on this guy. The guy's playing at 70%. You're asking him to cover Jameson Williams one-on-one.
Get off the field.
But he didn't have a good game.
You don't get off the field. He's giving you everything he has because nobody is better than him at 70%. But you should also not be having him one-on-one with Jameson freaking Williams, the fastest dude in the NFL.
That's what I was texting. John just said he's your best corner.
I was texting that the whole game. Why is Dennis Allen in man cover so much? The picks and the rubs were destroying you. Jalen Johnson was 5 yards behind whoever was catching the ball at any fucking point. He was just chasing the whole game, and they never went out of the man. When they went to the zone, you could take that small success. You could take
that small sample size of that particular game, guys, but go look up the Bears numbers in zone and man all season. It's almost identical. They don't have the personnel to stop anybody. Either way, TJ Edwards is going to end up guarding Jameer Gibbs. Jalen Johnson at 70% is going to end up covering James. So do you want Jalen Johnson 70% on James Williams, or do you want Nick McLeod or Nashawn Wright? And then the Nashawn Wright conversation is over. It's over. Absolutely over. That guy is absolutely done. Terrible.
Hold on, guys. There are so many players exposing themselves as replaceable level players. Jervon Dexter, Tremaine Edmonds, Nashawn Wright. These guys are all not what you wanted them to be. They didn't take the step. They didn't elevate to be the players that we wanted. Jervon Dexter's project is over. Move on from it. Go get yourself a real tackle. This team needs to upgrade at almost every position on this defense. That's the way I felt before the season started. It's still the way I feel now. They're not good enough, Kyle. You're right. Dennis Allen doesn't have the fucking tools.
They need to get healthy.
Well, and Kyler Gordon not being out there. Sean, were you about to?
Trey Smith, Zay Frazier, Jalen Johnson missed most of the season, is still banged up. I think Tremaine Edmonds is still banged up. At some point, this team needs to get healthy. What the Bears need to consider in the offseason is get rid of their entire training staff and bringing an entire new strength and conditioning staff in, because the Bears are by far the most banged up team in the NFL.
Well, the Lions actually passed them this week.
Yeah, but the Lions are there. The Lions also sat a bunch of guys yesterday, Sean, just because they wanted to sit a bunch of guys. The season was over.
I thought personally the Bears defense was the better
Bears
side
had
of the
the
ball.
most games missed until this past week. They had the most games missed.
And I want to say one thing about Jalen Johnson. He fucked up at the beginning of the year. He should have had this when he first did it, brought it to the Bears' attention, had that surgery. He's probably not lacking. He didn't. The guy's playing 70%, maybe 75%. Just an observation. Again, not a criticism of this man, because I think Jalen Johnson is still one of the best players on this football team, but he's going to need a whole offseason to recover and get back to 100%.
If that's the case, Sean, then he shouldn't be playing. That's not slander. His PFF
as Kyle just said, I'd rather have 70% of Jalen Johnson than 100% of Nick McLeod or Nashawn Wright, because they both suck ass.
Let's just real quick, Sean, the 3 PFF grades for these cornerbacks yesterday. CJ Gardner-Johnson, a 28.2. By far the worst on the Bears defense. Jalen Johnson was a 50.1, 47.5 in coverage, and Nashawn Wright was a 50.6. All three of your cornerbacks were trash yesterday.
Shame on the Bears too. Shame on the Bears
and
too.
And Tyreek didn't play a snap.
Well, shame on the Bears, because you knew coming into this game on these in breaking routes that Jared Goff threw for 2,311 fucking yards this year, number 1 in the NFL.
And they lead the league in yards after catch. And they lead the league in yards after catch. So if you have no safety help over the top, you're fucked. At least with the zone, they were keeping it in front of them. When they were in man, it was getting past them easy every time.
If you're talking about Jalen Johnson, guys, you got to look at the bigger sample size. Like, you can't be like, oh, this guy had a torn abductor off the bone, had surgery, missed the majority of the season, came back for 4 games, and he looks terrible. He must be a terrible player. Look at the entirety of
Nobody's
his career.
saying that.
Like, yeah, but you guys,
he's not healthy. Maybe he should sit
Hold
out.
Hold on. Let me finish. Brendan, let me finish, man. I never finished. You people are coming on here like, oh, the Bears need to replace every single player in the offseason. You guys, we talked about nauseum for every single show for 6 months about how good the secondary is. Then they lose A. Frazier, they lose Kyler Gordon, they lose Jalen Johnson, they lose Terrell Smith.
He could be a fucking bust. He's like,
look at the rest of the draft. Who else in this draft was a bust? Who else in this draft was a bust? Nobody.
Did you mention Terrell Smith?
Was a bust.
Did you mention
Terrell Smith?
Well, he kind of was. He's not playing.
Tyreek for a period.
Tyreek Stevenson, in and out.
This needs to be said, because this show,
it's like, our secondary sucks. We got to replace all of them in the offseason.
We get here a lot on this show, and the reality is, guys, a player can be good and be criticized for a bad game. It's okay. Sure. No Bears fan is immune to knowing that Jalen Johnson's a good football player who made the All-Pro team a fucking year ago, guys. He had a shit game, and it's okay to say it just because he's good. It's okay.
And Jalen Johnson had a bad day.
Hey, I'm not healthy, and that's why. There are a lot of Bears fans that are, though.
Yeah, and if he's not healthy, and that's why
you overlook bad games by players you like, man. It's natural.
If he's not healthy, and that's why we're saying he's not performing, then he shouldn't be on the field.
Who replaces
period?
Him?
End of story.
Who replaces him?
And put Tyreek Stevenson out there. Like I just said, Tyreek Stevenson did not play a snap yesterday. He was active. He didn't play a snap. You couldn't use Tyreek.
Stevenson should have came in that ball game.
Tyreek Stevenson should have been on the field.
Knocked out.
100%.
100%.
I would have put Jalen Jones on the field as the way those guys were playing yesterday. I would have tried anything.
Guys, there was a question from Vizzo Joe that I want in regards to what we're talking about here, because I was on it the whole game yesterday. I didn't understand why they were so stubborn and stuck in man when they were so blatantly getting beat every fucking time. He asked, what do you guys think of Brisker's comments regarding?
Can I be blunt? I think Brisker should shut the fuck up.
It's time to look in the mirror.
Biggest problem in the
secondary. Look in the mirror, bro. It's time to look in the mirror. You are not good. You're not good.
Dennis Allen's game plan was
he does this shit even when other players make all the plays. He does nothing, and he's doing this shit.
Bro, it's 16-0. What are you waving?
You just gave up a 20-yard pass, and then Nashawn Wright makes a play, Jalen makes a play, and you're doing this shit. How about you worry about yourself, bro? How about you stop allowing 20-yard passes to shitty backup tight ends? How about that?
I kind of feel like the defense was the better side of the ball yesterday.
The defense was 100%. Dude, this team dropped 52 points on us, dude. They gave up 16 till the end of the game.
They gave up less than 20, man.
Terrible. I mean, that's not about the points, guys.
It is about the points.
No, it's not.
Did you listen to our head coach today?
No, it's not.
What do you want from this defense?
It is because you're not going to win many football games scoring 16 points.
Stop anybody.
You're not going to win many football games allowing 433 total yards in 35 minutes time of possession when you have 24 guys.
You're the king of
the point determines the winner or the loser.
You got dominated in that game.
Guys,
dominated.
Dustin, with 400 yards given up, did the Bears give up 2 touchdowns with those 400 yards? Because that's what this defense is, and it's not going to change.
Well,
then don't break.
Yes,
16 points, you should win a game.
Guys,
you give up 17 points at home.
They dominated the entire game. The Bears offense never had the ball. 26 first downs to 16.
Yeah, but Dustin, that's usually how it goes. And the Bears
that's not usually how it goes. That's not. They're usually going to give up some more points than this. The Lions can score in the red zone.
Do you know how much points the Bears? Do you know how many points?
Talk about what lost the Bears this game and what will continue to lose them games. It's this defense defense allowing
really?
themselves
Scoring
to get gashed
16
and never
points?
get off the fucking field.
How many points does the Bears
Period.
offense? How many points does the Bears offense average?
They average 25 points a game, Brandon.
When they score less than that, how often do they win?
I don't know. You tell me. I would imagine not very often.
Nah,
but that offense has been the reason that they have been winning games, guys.
Yes, and
To
the
just throw it
offense is
on
the
the
reason
offense
they
today-
lost
yesterday
because they couldn't score.
Okay, so the defense sucks every game, so they get a pass.
We know that. We
That
depend
doesn't
on
make
the
sense.
offense to win. They
That
didn't
doesn't
show
make
up.
sense, dude.
Hey, T, we'll see you
That
next
doesn't
week for your
discount
first
the
round
defense.
matchup.
I mean, T, is that your Super
But
Bowl?
like the
this year?
Bengals defense sucks.
So
If
even
they're
the
going to
Bears-
win games, they got to
Good luck,
score
bro.
points.
I feel
They
a tide
fucking know
turning.
that. That's how they approach each game.
Who won the NFC North, bud?
Guys, I don't know, man. I don't know how you can just give the defense a pass and say they had a
19 points to an
a
offense
good
with
game.
Jameer Gibbs and Amon Ra and all those. That's 19 points.
They
to that
completely
team
controlled
is
the
commendable.
game by maintaining possession. There was nothing commendable about that.
Well, yes,
defense
Dustin.
yesterday.
They
That's not
controlled
the
possession
fucking
because
trash.
the offense kept getting
They were
3 and outs.
correct.
That's how you
That's
control
That's
possession.
not necessarily true. The Lions had all the ball for the whole.
How many
first
3 and
half,
outs did the
Brandon.
Bears have?
How
They
many
had,
3 and outs did they force?
They had 11 possessions, and I believe they had.
Justin, you
I think
guys-
he said 8 3 and
you
outs.
guys,
or 5
the goals-
Yeah,
and
that's
outs.
not acceptable.
You
That's
guys,
an
it's the
offensive
whole,
problem.
Hey, hold on. It's the whole team, guys. It's the whole team. It's
Yeah.
not the offense.
That
or the
was my
defense. It's
point.
the team. But I will say this: the defense at the end of the game came up with a massive interception,
Exactly,
gave the
Scott.
ball to the offense, and the offense went out there and took a shit on the field. That lost the game.
The defense came up with 2 big stops. They got the turnover, and
Well,
they
no,
were
Kyle,
they were
they
like, "Hey,
didn't- they
Caleb,
didn't-
hey, Caleb,
Kyle,
here's
they
your
didn't take a shit on the field. Your head coach got soft at the worst moment of his career.
Well,
Yeah, he did.
Brennan, the intentional grounding didn't help. The intentional
No,
grounding
it
didn't
didn't.
help.
It
Didn't
did
help
not
anything.
help at all.
The
That was
loss
a
of
big
10
problem.
yards didn't help, and a down didn't
That
help
actually
anything.
It was
that
3rd
actually
and 4.
killed
It was 4th and 4. Stop.
Brennan, it should have been a first down. If you don't lose 10 yards, then it's a first down.
Yeah, they would have had the first without the intentional.
Guys,
It was
Ben said it himself.
everybody all
Please don't
together
debate it.
sucking ass.
Ben said it himself. I should have gone for it. So don't argue with
should
it
have
because
gone
he
for it.
knows.
He should have
fucking
went for
knows
it.
he should have.
It's beside the point, Brennan. It's beside.
It's not besides the point.
You know,
I'm
yes,
saying-
it is.
I'm
I
saying
agree.
that
I
our
agree with
coach-
Vizzo
Brennan, what
Joe
you're doing,
right there.
Brennan, what you're
actually.
doing is excusing a terrible play by Caleb Williams because you love him so much, and you say
No,
Ben
I
lost the game.
texted you
They
guys
both lost the game.
before-
Everybody
No.
lost the game. The
No,
whole team
that's
lost
false.
the game.
I
Caleb,
texted you.
Ben,
I texted you
defense, the
before.
offense. They all lost.
Okay,
Everybody lost.
repeat
It was a
shit. I
three-phase
texted you guys.
beatdown,
I texted you guys
100%.
before that punt. Ben needs to go for it. We need to go for it. I'm serious.
huge, Cliff.
We need to go for it. That's what I texted you before they punted that ball. And guess what? And me and Dustin had a conversation about it. They're in short field position. If they had not
They would
gotten
have
it,
scored a lot
the
quicker.
Lions
and
would have
and you
scored
would have gotten the
quickly,
ball, but you would have
and the
gotten
Bears
ball
would have
back
had
a lot
time to
quicker.
score.
That's true.
You
That
guys
is true.
are also just
100%.
assuming that if the Bears go for it and get the first down, they're going to walk down the field and score a touchdown. That's not.
Which
It
you
might
didn't
not
do
have
all
been the
game.
case,
But if you
bro.
get the first
No, but
down,
you're
you still-
conceding the clock.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
conceding
Yeah,
the
and
game.
if Caleb doesn't lose 10 yards on the intentional grounding,
grounding.
the next
Yeah,
pass
but Kyle,
that got them
short
4 yards
memory.
short to
Short
Loveland
memory.
is a first down. That's a first down. Do you understand that?
Okay, that
So
doesn't
the
make
same
sense.
gain is a first down. You are now
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
passing
the
that's-
intentional
that's-
grounding
that's-
obviously
that's-
cost you guys.
crushed
That's
them.
what the
Crushed
mouth.
them. And
That's
that
what
put
that.
Ben in a really bad situation. Ben was like, "Well, every metric in the world tells me I should punt.
Third, fourth, and
trust-
4.
But my defense sucks. So now what do I do? That's a bad situation.
I think if Ben had it to do over again, Kyle, he would have gone
Sure.
for it.
You learn,
I
right?
think so.
He would have.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He
He
would
would have
have.
gone for it. Yeah.
It
He
depends,
would.
Justin.
That's
If
a
he has-
tough
if he has
decision.
the
That's
best
not an
defense-
easy
Guys, listen,
decision.
it's not a sh-
Justin, if he has the best defense in the NFL next year in the same situation, he's going to punt. He's
One-
going to fucking
It's
punt.
a tough decision, Kyle. On that part of the field, in that field position, you are guaranteeing a score basically if you don't
Guaranteeing a
get that
field goal.
fourth
Yeah,
down.
you're guaranteeing a field goal.
But on the back end of it, if they get that score a little quicker, now you can at least get the ball back with,
Well, you have to
with
also
the
have to imagine,
side of
guys,
the ball that you have confidence in.
Ben
which is
also
your offense.
didn't think he was going to lose a timeout to CJ Gardner-Johnson getting knocked the fuck out, or knocking himself out, I should say. He also didn't plan on losing
Dude,
that
he was
timeout.
done.
He looked
I've
like he
never
got
seen a
shot.
player
Well,
wobble
it's-
like
he-
that.
I'm gonna
He was
level
like
with you, man.
a
I don't know how any
penguin on the
Lions fan in the
sideline.
world could be happy about this season. It looks like you guys are going right back into that
He's
cellar you
out.
crawled yourself out of. But at the same time, you are right. Ben Johnson was out coached by the entire
here,
coaching
I
staff.
will
They
say
went into
this.
that zone coverage. and
CJ
Caleb Williams
Gardner
didn't
Johnson
know
is
what to
not
do.
available next week, guys.
No, Tyree Stevenson has to be in. But I will tell you this. I agree with Cliff. In the first half of this game, where was Luther Burden? Why was he not part of the game plan? Colston Loveland can
Yeah, Tom
only
Brady
do
kept
so
saying it.
much It was almost like he replaced Rome with Colston and forgot about everybody else. And you have to spread the ball. The ball has to be in Burden's hands. I don't know how else I have to stress it. Watch this guy. The ball gets in his hands and the offense moves.
Yep. It was a very smart move and a very intentional thing for Ben to call that end around with Luther Burden to get him involved in the game, and that really got him going. It was like hitting a couple free throws for an NBA player. Like,
and then he had 3 receptions almost in the same drive.
Yeah, exactly. That was very smart by Ben, and Ben does really good things, guys. Overall, Ben is a great fucking coach. I could not be more impressed with what he has done. He is learning, and I expect things to get better this season. I expect this team to play games like this. I said that on our pregame show. I said that on the Thursday show. It's going to be a close game. This Lions team is good. You are in a divisional game and they want to win. And guess what happened? They came out ready to do it.
Kind of beat yourself.
And you didn't. No. Okay, so the Lions didn't do anything to win that game.
Yeah, but Dustin, they're a good team.
But the Lions averaged like 30 points a game.
Like a good team. They just lost to Max Brosper, man. They just lost to Max Brosper and the Vikings, who have nothing to play for. Nothing to play for.
Who played as the better team yesterday?
I just said Ben Johnson was out cold. That doesn't mean I don't want Ben Johnson to be our coach.
Ben Johnson will continue to get better.
Jared Goff threw a pick in the worst moment of a game. Like,
Sean said it the second we got on.
Scottish, I've been saying this.
The Bears could do their homework. They knew that the Lions destroyed the middle of the field. They knew that's where they made their money, and the Bears did nothing to adjust to it in any way.
You needed zone.
They were outcoached.
I'll die on that hill, guys. You can say that they're not as good in they're just as bad in zone as they are man. You're better off in zone.
I bet you if they played in zone, Dustin, the Lions score the same amount of points.
No, I don't agree.
I guarantee you. I bet you they win 19-16.
There's no way we can guarantee that because the Bears were in man for far more of that game.
The Lions were terrible in the red zone.
One at a time.
Yeah, the Bears don't have the defense to match up against guys like Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's going to be their Achilles. We talked about it all season. Playoffs. We talked about it all season, guys. Speed receivers.
The zone will limit the damage, Kyle. The zone will limit the damage. It'll at least keep it in front of you.
That team's taking pleasure.
Guys, they played zone in week 2 and Amon-Ra St. Brown destroyed them. They just don't have the roster to.
I can understand the logic from Dennis Allen's point, watching what the Vikings did to the Lions the week prior. The Vikings blitzed like crazy, and the Vikings ran a lot of man coverage, zero coverage, and it worked out for them. That seemed to, exactly. But you don't have the pass rush. You don't have the players to get after the quarterback like they do. So you have to adjust once you see that it's not working. And that adjustment to me was clearly sit back in zone and at least keep the play in front of you. That worked when they did it. It did.
Yeah, no big plays, Dustin. Quarters. He should have dropped into quarters. And that's usually what Dennis Allen does.
You guys, Dennis Allen's not an idiot. He knows his personnel. He knows his best chance to win. The Bears allowed 16 points going with a minute left in the fourth quarter. They should have won. The offense should muster up 17 points. The offense should be able to muster up 17 points. Ben Johnson knows that. And I guarantee in the locker room after the game, Ben Johnson said the offense did not pull their weight. This is the worst our offense has looked the entire season. We're better than this. If the defense gives up 19 points every game, we expect to win every game. We couldn't do it. We fell short. We couldn't do it. It was just a bad series of events.
Guys, the Bears gave up over 100 more yards per game than they have given up all season.
But Justin, when we talk about
that doesn't matter. 26 first downs.
Hold on. When we talk about
it doesn't matter
compared
to
No, you were still in the game. Guys, let me respond.
Okay,
Dustin, when we talk about
the fourth, crazy, man.
When we talk about the fourth quarter heroics and how it's going to start biting them in the ass, you always say, "Well, Kyle, this is who they are. This is who the Bears are. This is their identity." They come back in the fourth quarter. Well, Dustin, this is who they are. Ben, don't break. This is who the defense has been all season. They give up a fuck ton of yards to guys like Ashton Genty. They don't allow a fuck ton of points, and they win the fucking game. But they couldn't do it this week. They couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it the last 5
again,
weeks.
Over 100 yards more than what they give up per game this season is what they gave up yesterday.
And they gave up
26 first downs, 35 minutes of possession.
They gave up 400 rush.
They allowed the Lions offense,
and they could have won the game on this last play.
Mikey, 950 in the last 2 games.
And 433.
And they played a lot of zone against.
And I'll tell you for me, just being as an outside observer and a fan, like watching this game and seeing Gardner Johnson on the ground, I still even asked in the press conference with no explanation, why the hell Tyreek Stevenson, did he sleep with Ben's wife? Why can't this guy get on the fucking field? I mean,
he had a really bad game a week ago.
Who in the secondary hasn't?
I agree, Sean. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that might have been the reason, though. I do, but they're just not talented on the defensive side of football, guys. And you know what's really strange to me is Dennis Allen is infamously known for not giving his entire career. He has been one of the best defensive coordinators at not giving up the big play. And I don't know what happened to him when he became the coach of the Bears, because I think we're second to worst in the league at that right now. And that's got to stop. You can give up the chunk yards, man, that they're going to do that because they're not talented. But like Dustin said, you go into zone, you have the play in front of you. You cannot give up these monster plays to these guys. And it's something this defense has done all year long. And why hasn't Dennis Allen been able to fix it?
I'll say this, that to the time of possession point, the offense just gives it back. On the offensive side of the ball, you know what your defense is. You know you have liabilities all over the place. You know that you can't keep up with a Jamison Williams, and you know Amon-Ra's going to be able to, you want to find the soft spot. You want to keep Gibbs off the field. You're supposed to be running the ball in January and controlling the clock, keeping your defense off the field. Honestly, to you, Dustin, you said the defense wasn't good. The defense was put in a very bad position by being on the field so much to only give up 16 points. And I know
you got to force a third down, 3 and out to get off the field.
It doesn't matter.
Andrew Billings jumping on a 4th and 1 when they weren't even going to snap the ball, and that leads to a touchdown. How does that not impact the game?
I just don't understand how you don't give the defense, even as bad as it was, some props, because they were on the field a majority of the game and held this team to 16 points and left the Bears in a position to win.
Sunday, I said your game plan should be keep the Lions offense off the field.
Sean, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that. Listen, running back attempts for the Bears yesterday was 16. Though against the Niners, it was 17. When they win, they're 20 and up. They're 22. They're 25. You need to control the clock. Their run blocking was shitty yesterday, guys. The Bears' run blocking was nowhere near as good as it normally is. It seems like the Lions were really
the offensive line's been bad in the first half.
But let me again, Andrew Billings fucked that game up. On a 4th and 1, when the Lions clearly were not going to snap the ball, they played him. He jumped at 1 second on the play clock. Jahmyr Gibbs is catching a touchdown 3 plays later. That can't happen if you're a playoff team where you make those kind of mental mistakes on the defensive side of the ball when you know already that you're not good. You got to get the offense off the field sometimes too. You can't just keep letting them convert 3rd and 4th downs all the way up and down the field on you, because then your offense can never get into a rhythm either. It works both ways. Both phases complement each other.
Caleb,
guys.
you cannot get a intentional grounding on that, but you can't. You cannot get an intentional grounding on that play.
I want to say
you got to run around a little bit and throw the ball at somebody's feet. You cannot just whip that ball downfield. And I understand. Listen, he looked very composed. I was impressed with Caleb until he threw the ball. Everything he did in that, he looked very well. And then
but Kyle,
threw the ball. I'm like, what are you doing?
That grounding call was on a snap that was 20 yards behind him, dude.
No, the other grounding call.
No. That's your switch. You're mixing up. That was the other
grounding call. Really quick, I put it in the chat.
That wasn't a grounding call.
That was not. You're talking about the fumble, Brennan. That was.
That was the one you said should have been.
There was no grounding on that one.
It should have been a grounding call. That one should have been a grounding call as well. He threw that ball 50 yards over Lou Burden's head, bro.
No, Burden was in the area. I thought it was all right.
I said before that game.
Most times they're calling that intentional grounding.
But that intentional grounding that they did call on Caleb, he was being hit as he let it go. That impacted where that ball went. I thought that was a little iffy too, to be honest. But yes, that intentional grounding set you way back on that drive, and that's the reason
mistakes by the whole team.
Kyle Monunga catch wasn't a first down. Yeah,
I think the game plan should have been keep the Lions offense, the good unit on that team,
has been terrible for a month.
Off the field, and the Bears offense couldn't get first downs, and they just kept getting 3 and outs and putting the Lions offense right back on the field. And what bothers me, Kyle said it earlier, and it's something we all need to discuss, because
I gotta say, I don't think that the Bears' first couple of possessions were even 3 and outs, guys. They got a couple of first. They weren't 3 and outs.
Justin, the first drive of the game, it was DeAndre Swift. He had like 30, 40 yards on the first drive, and he finished the game with 50. I'm like, what the fuck?
And he ran the ball. He ran the ball 10 times, Kyle. 10 times.
Yeah,
it's not good enough.
Got to run the ball, man. The Bears.
But I'm just saying they weren't just 3 and out and off the field. That didn't happen. They were moving the ball a little bit.
If the Bears are going to be successful in the playoffs, they have to establish the run. That's what it is.
Edmonds sucked, Cliff. Edmonds sucked. Edmonds stood out as all. Edmonds and Dexter, to me and Brandon talked about it yesterday, were the two worst players on your defense yesterday.
Dexter is the worst player on this football team, guys. But
you're insane.
I want to say this.
It's not true.
This what needs to be discussed in regards to Ben Johnson is, Kyle said it earlier in the show. You were kind of playing 4 quarters of football and looking the best you ever have offensively a week ago. And you came out against a depleted secondary and you took a shit on yourself. And that, guys, this has always been directed at Caleb. This 3 quarters of bad football is all year long has been directed at Caleb. And it doesn't make any sense because the whole team is shit for 3 quarters. And it's been happening all year. It's a coach. You got to fix this, Ben. It's got to be fixed. You cannot go into the playoffs and
so how do you fix
one.
it?
You can't go into the playoffs and play 1 quarter of football. I'm not a fucking head coach, Dustin. It's not my job. But I'll tell you this. You make it sound like an impossible task, but there are head coaches in the NFL who do it. So it's not.
I'll say this. I think that the players on this team are just not as good as you want them to be that
offensively,
kind of
I think you're nuts. I think
offensively 100%.
This team could beat anybody.
This
but they don't play
bad.
that way, Dustin. They don't play
and your
that
defense being that bad can impact your offense, which 100% happened yesterday, guys. I will keep going back to that because I've watched the game twice now, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but you're talking about one game.
Got dominated,
I'm
and
talking
the
about a
offense never got
season's
going.
worth of problems that's persistent. Sean said it earlier. We keep having this conversation about 3 quarters of bullshit. Like, it's been a problem all fucking year.
And
that is terrifying to know that our head coach hasn't been able to address probably the biggest problem with this football team. It scares me. I texted
What has Ben Johnson addressed, though?
He's young. You said that. That was your response.
No. What has Ben Johnson addressed?
A lot of things. He's fixed a lot of things.
When he focuses on something, does it get fixed? That's the question.
So is he not focused on the 3 quarters of bad football?
What I'm saying is that the other team across from you, Brandon, has a game plan in place too.
Dude,
and I think Ben Johnson needs it. No, it does.
Good coaches coach 4 quarters, man. That's what it is. That's how it is. That's how it goes in the NFL.
No. But the teams that the Bears have played haven't done that.
You can't win as a coach 1 quarter of each game. That's not good enough. Ben Johnson, if this problem persists next year, we're going to be talking about Ben Johnson. We're going to be having a Ben Johnson conversation. If next year we're getting out coached 3 out of every 4 games or 3 out of every 4 quarters.
But I'm going to say
that's not a concern of mine that Ben Johnson
is not going to be very popular for you, because I know you don't want to put any of it on Caleb, but a lot of it is on him too. He has.
Well, no, we've done that all year. You've done that all year. Not once have you ever turned and looked in the direction of
Ben Johnson's not under center. Ben Johnson's not throwing the ball. Ben Johnson's not making the plays.
So you think Caleb's bad for 3 quarters and then just plays well?
Execution is a problem.
So Caleb remembers how to play football in the 4th,
and he has to evolve. He's
Sean,
himself.
Who makes Caleb comfortable? Whose job is it?
To make himself comfortable in the offense.
That's the stupidest thing, dude. Seriously, a head coach is supposed to make his quarterback comfortable.
His fucking love
if he's doing it in the 4th quarter every game, it's a problem. Kyle, what do you think about this? Is this something that needs to be addressed?
Well, the sluggish starts, yeah. I mean, absolutely, Brandon, because those plays are scripted. They're scripted. Those plays are scripted.
And who's not executing?
Thank you,
Ben Johnson or Caleb?
You guys. Everybody's trying to find somebody to point the finger at. It's a team. It's a team.
100%.
Yes, which is a coach. It is. It's the team, which is revolved around the coach.
Sure, Ben Johnson's obviously not doing a great job at the scripted plays, but Burnett Caleb is.
He's not doing a good job at fixing a problem.
He's missing layups. If you're missing layups, that ruins drives. So that you have the right to play scripted.
I think Caleb's played his best football of his career in the last few weeks of the season.
And then all of a sudden the drive is dead. You got to hit those open plays. You got to hit those
on that 4th down yesterday in the second half when the Bears were driving to try to score before half. Caleb had Colston Loveland wide open on that 4th. He did not hit him as soon as he came open. He waited way too long, hit Colston Loveland when he had a defender draped all over him, and then everyone wants to say Colston Loveland had a drop. Caleb had Colston Loveland wide the fuck open. He did not hit him. Caleb checked out of 3 pass plays on the first drive. So you could say Ben Johnson didn't design up the plays right, but that don't matter if Caleb checks it into a different play.
So what are we
and
saying?
Now your whole script is gone because Caleb now changed the play. I guarantee you, go back and watch the game. He changed 3 plays.
So what are we saying? Caleb remembers how to play football in the fourth quarter every week?
Listen, I love them both. The first 3. I think they're both good.
Caleb is a talented player.
Combination of all these things.
Caleb is the best player on your football team, and you need to make him comfortable in the first quarter, because when you start doing that, guys, he is going to fucking light this league. I have a question for you, Brandon.
Do you think that they don't sit down with Caleb and script these plays and find out what he thinks
the script's not good?
As they're reviewing play, as they're reviewing film, you think Ben Johnson's just saying, "Hey, you're going to do this whether you like it or not"? I highly doubt.
So the scripted
he's got to trust Caleb.
So the scripted plays are where the game's not going well, and you guys are saying the quarterback is solely responsible. I hate to tell you this: if you go back to the beginning of the year, the scripted plays were working.
Brandon,
this is a regression.
Nobody's saying that it's just on Caleb. It's on everybody.
No, we've done that all year. We've done that all year.
No, we haven't. Some people have. We have not. No, I mean, it is on Ben Johnson. It is on Caleb
Ben Johnson's bad games, bro. We've talked about them. 100% really outcoached. We've talked about that.
Yes.
And there's been yesterday.
You're the man.
More games than not, he has outcoached the guy across from him. And that's the positive thing. And that's what you take into these playoffs.
For one quarter each game.
Next year.
He's a rookie coach.
Yeah, he's going to get better. He's continuing to develop. And he is learning.
Guys,
but when your quarterback, Brandon, on your first drive changes the play 3 times, is that on the coach?
Okay, but you keep referring to one game. I'm referring to the reason that I'm trying to get you to focus on the fact that this is a season-long problem is because it falls on the coach.
Hey, I got a question for you, Brandon.
More than that, we can say that he's beaten these head coaches. We can, and you're right. He's won these games
more often,
but
than
he's
lost.
Beaten them 1 quarter of each game.
I have a question for you.
And so then they didn't coach for all 4 quarters either, Brandon.
Guys, how about Caleb, instead of throwing that bad ball to DJ Moore, takes Smythe underneath and has a big gain?
Sean, I'm not absolving Caleb Williams of any responsibility. What I'm saying is all year long on this podcast, we have continued to talk about Caleb's 3-quarter issue. But Kyle said it best early. This whole team is ass for 3 quarters. That's a coaching problem, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Everybody problem. I think there are times. I think there are times where Ben Johnson. Hold on. I think there are times where Ben Johnson drew up the wrong play, and he should probably take it. He needs to take responsibility for that, Brennan. I think there are also times, Brennan, where he drew up the right play, and Caleb missed it.
Or checked out of it and went to a different place.
Caleb makes mistakes, of course.
Yeah,
he's
they all
going
do.
to. But he's not the reason this team is bad for 3 quarters every week. It's not a quarterback problem.
3 quarters every week. It's not 3 quarters every week. They have sluggish
starts.
It's
most weeks, guys. Come on.
As a matter of fact,
Caleb's
really good at the end of the second quarter. Caleb is really good at the end of the second quarter.
Last week in the Browns game, they looked good.
At the end of the second quarter. Caleb's
for a majority of the season, they have it through 3 quarters.
If I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, when they play
in the game, it has nothing to do with what quarter. It's just the Bears are inconsistent. You know why? Because they're young and they're implementing a new system with new players. That's why they're inconsistent. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, Sean asked me 3 weeks ago on the show.
Consistently inconsistent.
Sean asked me 3 weeks ago on the show. Besides the defensive line, what do you think would derail this Bears team? Now you're missing Rome Odunze, right? You missed Luther Burden against San Fran, or the San Fran game you missed. Yeah,
no,
you're missing your entire.
San Fran game.
Or was it the game before that? You're missing the entire secondary. The entire secondary. Sooner or later, these injuries are going to bite you in the eye. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, I can tell you this for a fact. I told Sean this morning. If there's one thing that game taught me yesterday, Ozzie Trapillo is a lot better than Theo Benedette. A lot.
Oh, Visual Joe, that was the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Theo Benedette had a rough game, man. The run
game.
I'm telling you, the run blocking,
rough game, dude.
The run blocking in general across the board, even from the skill position players, was nowhere near as good as it normally is.
Hold on. That Visual Joe comment. Did you guys see this? Mike Tomlin said this.
Yeah. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle. All right, time to go. See you later. Mike Tomlin's the shit.
It was crazy. That's amazing.
I was gonna throw that out at some point today. I was trying to ignore that. I was gonna bring that up organically. God damn it, Vizzo.
Real quick, guys, because I don't want to forget it. I forgot 3 times now. The catch by Cole Kmet while taking the hit was one of the greatest things I've seen a Chicago Bears player do in my life. Honestly, that was one of the biggest hits I've seen in a Bears game. this year.
Yeah, he was awesome in that.
He got rocked.
That was the best catch of Cole Kmet's career. The fact that the Bears got 2 touchdowns.
90% of players won't hold that ball.
The fact that the Bears got 2 touchdowns and everybody was freaking out. And I said, this is how they play. And then they will get back in it. And I knew they would. And they did. And that wasn't enough. They didn't have enough at the end. And that's happened.
Yeah, you were very collected, Dustin.
I might be with you, Flex.
Justin, not in the last few weeks. Not the last 6 weeks.
Well, against the Packers, it worked out the last time they won.
1 for 4.
Yep. So, but all I'm saying is that they more often than not they come out on top in those situations, and I knew they would get back in that game. My only point was to make was that was an amazing effort to get those 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. Have to have it plays. Jade Walker came up big. Colston Loveland was huge in this game, huge all season. The leading receiver for the Chicago Bears. Guys. He's fucking awesome. He is an unstoppable player. This offense in general, and you saw it, and Sean was calling for Burden the whole game, and I was too, because Luther Burden needs to touch the ball. In my humble opinion, this offense, even when Rome comes back, if he comes back, it needs to run through Colston Loveland and Luther Burden and your run game, obviously. But in the passing game, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden need to be your featured guys in this offense. Period.
And Dustin, in the run game, that Kyle Monangai experiment needs to. DeAndre Swift needs to get a lot more touches than Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai,
he had 10 carries. Monangai had 6.
Kyle Monangai in his last 3 weeks, you guys, is it 2.6 yards per carry? And
Monangai's the guy I thought he was.
4.7.
I'm not ready to bail on Monangai.
I'm not saying bail on him, but if you're talking about
that's Isaiah Pacheco, dude.
Hold on, let me finish, guys. If you're going to talk about going in a playoff game, which is a must-win, then you play your best players. And you know who's better than Kyle Monangai? DeAndre fucking Swift.
Yeah, but DeAndre Swift, Kyle, is not the same player when he's a workhorse.
Play your best players.
Very different. DeAndre Swift is only good if somebody spells him.
That's ridiculous to say. DeAndre Swift would be nothing in the NFL if somebody.
DeAndre Swift is a much better power back than he gets credit for.
He averaged 40.
He's played his best football when he's spelled.
Look at the statistics.
Just a fact. It's just a fact.
Everybody in the NFL is spelled, so you can't find those statistics, Burn. There's not one running back in the NFL who carries every single carry in the game.
Every NFL back is spelled. So Monangai's got to keep playing football.
That's ridiculous.
Well, he's not, and Kyle's not saying pull Monangai from the game.
I'm not saying don't play Monangai,
but DeAndre Swift should have at least.
Well, I feel like we kind of shit on Monangai a little bit.
DeAndre Swift should have 15 carries a game at least.
Minimum.
Minimum. I'm thinking more like 20.
Kyle Monangai should have at least 10.
No, 20 touches. DeAndre Swift has had 20 touches.
Monangai should be 8 to 12. DeAndre Swift should be 15 to 20. That's the
in
way
terms
this
of
play
between
out.
the catching and the running.
Catch and run.
100%.
And I agree with Sean 100% that DeAndre Swift should certainly be in the red zone. Not even a question about that. That's not even the fact.
But you saw what Kyle Monangai can do on that 2-point conversion where he just hammered in there. It was nice.
That play was awesome.
If you're at the 17-yard line, you need to get to the 7 for a first down. DeAndre Swift gives you so many more things you can do than Kyle Monangai. So many more things you can do. He opens the offense up a little bit.
Yeah, Monangai's
Kyle Monangai is going to carry the ball.
Yeah, Monangai is the key part of this offense, and he needs
he's helped you win some football games.
Are you guys?
I'm sorry, Monangai can easily be replaced.
I'm not saying Kyle Monangai should be dropped from.
Kyle, I think you're being hindered by Sean jumping on and saying Monangai is who I thought he was, and he can easily be replaced.
I'm not saying he should be.
Monangai could easily be replaced.
I'm not saying cut.
If you don't think he can easily be replaced, you're fucking nuts.
I like Kyle Monangai better than you, and I have.
He's rushed for 100 yards twice. He's a spellback.
When you watch the game, it should. First of all, he started in the Bengals game, but in the game he rushed for 100 yards.
Yeah, the game where he snapped.
That was the game Swift missed.
Yeah, the game where he was asked to start and he exploded.
Against the Bengals. I can rush for 100 yards.
Okay.
I'd like to see it, Sean. I want to see it.
But
Kyle was trying to make a point.
Those watching this podcast, I love Monangai.
Shador Sanders.
Kyle Monangai. Go ahead, Kyle.
You guys, all I'm saying is when you watch a game for the Bears, if you know DeAndre Swift has a better skill set, right? He's more valuable to the team because he can do numerous different things Kyle Monangai can't do.
Awesome, Kyle. Yes.
And Brendan, like Justin said, he can run up the middle too. DeAndre Swift this year has been a physical runner. So I'm saying if you watch a Bears game, it shouldn't feel like it was an even split. Even if you're not looking at the carries, like you're not looking at the box score and the numbers, it shouldn't feel like
it's between the snaps too, Kyle, because DeAndre Swift is a better pass blocker than Kyle Monangai too, if you really want to break it down. I'm not trying to dispute the fact that DeAndre Swift should be on the field more than Monangai. They are doing a pretty even split in terms of snaps. But Kyle Monangai does still need to be a critical part of this offense, and I think this offense is at its best when both of those guys are working for you.
But you guys,
and doing
what
the
I'm
things
saying
that they
is,
do
if we
well.
go to a playoff
Dustin.
game,
That's when they played their best.
If we go to playoff game and Kyle Monangai has 8 carries, I'm not going to be like, oh, he didn't get to those 10 carries. They need more Monangai. But if you go to a playoff game and Kyle Monangai has 8 carries and DeAndre Swift has 9, I'm going to say DeAndre Swift should have had at least 8.
If between the two of them, they don't have over. If between the two of them, Kyle, they don't have over 22, I'm going to be disappointed. The last 2 weeks, it's shown that it's a losing. Sunday. It was the Sunday before too. Only 17 carries between the two of them. That's a losing recipe for the Chicago.
Now the Niners is kind of an asterisk because the Niners couldn't stop their pass if you put a gun to their head. So you almost are like, it's like giving.
Well, that compensated for it, yeah. But at the end of the day,
but the Lions game was close. It was physical.
In that Niners game, Kyle, if they had controlled the clock a little more, because they were able to run when they did it, if they had controlled the clock a little bit more, maybe the possessions go a different way too.
You're preaching to the choir, man. Sean and I said this on Wednesday after the Niners.
You got to run the fucking football.
Yeah, that's the worst defensive line.
Keep the Niners off the field, and the only way to do that is to make longer, more sustainable, more methodical drives, and keep the Niners offense on the sideline, cool down a little bit. And they should have done it, but they didn't. And it's them not running the ball, which is back to Burnet's point. That's a Ben Johnson thing. It's up to him whether or not he runs the ball. That is killing them.
Flex does run the football no matter who is the back. That's our winning formula. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, the Eagles game.
Yes,
they should just emulate the Eagles game. The plan that Ben put together against that Eagles team looked like a team to me, a Midwest football team, outdoor, a team that's not going to fucking lose if they're winning at the line of scrimmage the way they did in that Eagles game, and they do.
Yeah,
this offensive line.
Check out my shirt, Steve. Look at
this offensive line.
I'm a Packers fan,
and we don't. Ben's treating this team like he doesn't have the best offensive line in football, and like he kind of does. And it's time to like, that's your strength. Those guys in the trenches, man. That's your strength.
I'm going to tell you guys this right now. It's going to be a short-lived playoff run if the Bears decide to play man because the Packers receivers are going to eat them for breakfast.
Yeah, you cannot. You have to go to the zone. You have to go to the zone. And honestly, guys, it was set up in that Packers game too. You saw it when they tried to blitz, when they ran zero coverage. Jordan Love kicked their fucking ass. When they went to zone, you were able to get off of the field. This Bears defense, as much as you want to get pressure and as much as you want to do all these things, you can't. You kind of got to accept that, and you got to just sit back in zone, blitz here and there once in a while when they're not expecting it. The other thing is when the Bears blitz, it is so goddamn obvious and so easy to stop. They blitzed all out multiple times in that game yesterday, and the Lions were like, nobody got even close.
I texted, we're terrible at blitzing.
You can't, and you send 8 guys, and you can't get
I
texted you guys. We are terrible at blitzing.
I'm not trying to discredit your point, but I think Goff got hit 8 times. So I mean, they did.
They pressured him at a decent clip, but
it was better. And he hurt him every time they did. Unfortunately,
he held it until the very last second, and he got rid of that ball. But they did that better, Kyle, when it was a 4-man rush and they got pressure, and that will always be the case. You have to rely on these guys to get pressure.
What they need to do now,
just
defense,
the front 4.
Booker probably had 2 sacks if he was more aware. Booker on 2 separate plays. Booker, when Jared Goff did the play action, the fake handoff, 2 separate plays. Booker beat his man,
to the running back.
Which God bless him because he looks like he's becoming a freak in regards to beating the guy across from him. 2 plays, he went after the running back. One of them, he tackled the running back while Jared Goff threw a pass. The other one, I texted you guys, he threw his hands in the air. When he looked up and saw that he was going after a running back with no ball in his hands, he threw his hands in the air and looked to his right and saw the quarterback and started chasing him down. But he was like, you could tell, he clearly thought, who the fuck has the ball?
Well, Brandon, so I want to make a point.
He's got to be a little more aware because that's going to get him home, dude.
I want to make a point on the Austin Booker thing, but this zone versus man conversation is very interesting to me, and I think it's a huge part of this Bears' potential success going forward. And I am not saying that the Bears are good in zone. I just want to be clear. The Bears get beat in man, the Bears get beat in zone. I am trying to take the lesser of 2 evils. You get beat a little less badly in zone than you do in man. In man, you are behind the guy, you're chasing him down. At least in zone, you're generally, the idea is to keep it in front of you. And I'm conceding the fact that this Bears defense sucks. They're not getting pressure, and the secondary has been trash. So at the very least, I want to try my best to keep the play in front of me and not allow the big plays. Because as Kyle said, it's a bend, don't break. When they get into the red zone, they tend to force field goals instead of touchdowns. But if you allow the big play outside of the red zone, you got no shot. So I'm not saying they're great. They're great in zone. They're bad in both. It's just a little bit better in zone to me from what my eyes see. And that's what I would do.
I think though, if they put Tyreek Stevenson on the field, which, like Dustin, like you said, I'm not saying Tyreek Stevenson's going to come in the game and be the best player in football, but you're taking the least worst of whatever you want to call it. You get Tyreek Stevenson on the field, you get Jalen Jones or Josh Blackwell a little playing time. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but Gardner Johnson and Deshaun Wright aren't good. They're not good.
Gardner Johnson's not going to play. He's not going to play.
I hope not. And they're going to. And I wouldn't be upset if Deshaun Wright got concussed either, because you guys, they're just not that good. They get picked apart. And if Deshaun Wright's not getting takeaways, which he hasn't in what's been 2-3 weeks now?
The Niners game.
Yeah, I mean,
did you have one in the Niners game?
No. The Bears didn't take the ball away in the Niners game except for the T.J. Edwards touchdown.
Yeah, no, it was the game. It was the Packers game. He pulled the fumble out of Josh
Jacobs. Yeah. Outside of that play, the last 3 weeks, or even before the week before that, he's just been bad. He's just not good. He's not good in coverage. He's not.
No, he's been bad all year.
A lot of Bears fans hate.
Yeah, he's been bad in coverage all year, guys. He has. Yeah,
he's not good, and a lot of Bears fans hate him to say that because they like him. But it's not about who you like. It's about winning football games. And if Tyreek Stevenson and Josh Blackwell or anybody, any combination of this, whoever it is, give you a better chance, then it's time to put those guys in the field.
It's time to see what you got. I agree, Kyle.
This thing where every
needs to be out there.
Yeah, where every single week, Deshaun Wright on PFF, they're like, oh, he was thrown to 8 times. There were 7 catches for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next week, he was thrown to 9 times. There was 8 catches for 111 yards and a touch. Like, the guys, it's time to change something.
He's not averaging one
giving up 3
incompletion per game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the secondary in general was just awful. I read you the numbers, but Brandon talked about Austin Booker, and I just want to give him some love for that deflection he had on that ridiculous reverse flea flicker the Lions tried to run. Austin Booker elevated and then levitated to knock that ball down, and I was just so fucking impressed by the athletic ability of this guy, and that shows you what he can be. I know he had some mental mistakes, but he's also the one guy that plays out there. Like, if he hits someone, he's trying to take their head off no matter what, and I love that about him. He tries to be
that's the point. If he takes if he stops the mental mistakes, he'll be a freak.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just like with Ben Johnson, he's gonna get better. All these guys are gonna get better. But Austin Booker, the fact that he can get 11 feet up in the air to knock that ball down is just fucking insane.
Well,
he's a kid.
If we're handing out participation awards, then I'd like to say that I do apologize to Jaquan Brisker. I said he couldn't cover anybody in the NFL. He can cover Jared Goff when he's running down the field looking for a pass.
That was a great play. Listen, and you guys all dogged on Brisker when that question was asked, but Brisker made a great play on Amon-Ra St. Brown on a 3rd down early in that game. Brisker made the great play on that interception. He got in there to tip that up. Brisker made that great play and sticking with Goff because the Lions thought they had the Bears there.
That's what the Lions do. Throw to Goff. Yeah.
That was a huge. Brisker made some great plays in that game. Let's not get it twisted. I don't want to look past that.
Oh, then Dustin,
Brisker's not great in coverage.
We're gonna throw flowers. We're gonna throw flowers. How about Jalen Johnson's tackle on Jameer Gibbs?
That was huge. That was huge. 100%. It was on 3rd and 1 on a 3rd and 1 run. He speared him. It was great. But Brisker made some plays in that game, guys. He wasn't just sucking it up on the field. Brisker hung in there, man. I thought he played pretty well, honestly.
Steve asked a little bit ago if we're worried about this game Saturday, and if I'm being honest, I am a little bit, because
it's the Chicago Bears.
It's going to end on the final play.
If the Bears can't get pressure up the middle, it's not going to come down to a final play, because the Packers are going to put up points at the will, because you can't. All they have is speedy receivers, from Wicks to what's his nuts, Dobbs to what's Reed, the other clown,
Watson,
Reed.
They're all fast, and if you can't keep these guys in front of you, you can't get pressure. We're cooked. The Bears
need the zone.
Will cook the Bears.
Sean, you need the zone. I'm sorry, you just do. And you can say Jordan Love's going to pick that apart.
Pressure.
You need pressure, but you need pressure with the 4. You need pressure. You're not
going to get pressure with the 4.
Because when you blitz, Jordan Love is going to make you pay. Guys, but if you blitz, Jordan Love
does suck. Jordan Love has not been great in the playoffs. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He had 1 good game against Dallas. The next week, he threw 3 interceptions. Last year in his 1 playoff game, he threw 2 picks. He's cost his team to lose each of 2 of the 3 games he's played in the playoffs. If the Bears put together a good game plan and keyword execute, I believe he'll cough the game up again, because that's what he showed he's done in the playoffs. So, but can the Bears do it?
You had that all at the top of your head, Sean? That's impressive.
What'd you
Are
say?
the Packers still
You had that all on the top of your head. That's honest to God impressive.
1.5 still, right? That's gonna flip towards the Bears at some point this week, I believe.
What was that, Dustin?
I was asking if the Packers are still favored on Saturday because
some of the books have it as a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's gonna flip. It's gonna move towards the Bears, I believe.
The Packers
right now, the Packers are a favorite on the road.
Especially if Kyler Gordon,
7 football team.
Especially if Kyler Gordon practices
on a 4-game losing.
That's worth talking about. Are we on the Kyler Gordon coming back train? Do we think it's happening? Because we really could fucking use this guy.
I want him to come back.
You got to think about it, guys. Why else would they open his practice window today? I mean,
it's to get him back by Saturday.
The goal is to try to get him back. And how his body responds is a totally different story. But their goal is for him to play.
Pre-game warm-ups.
Let's just avoid the pre-game warm-ups. Just go out there and play. Just,
let play cold. Let this guy play cold.
Hey, Brandon, to your point, the Packers losing 4 games in a row heading into the playoffs has happened 2 other times. The 24 Steelers. Or 3 times, excuse me. The 2024 Steelers and the 99 Lions both lost on the road by 2 touchdowns. The 86 Jets went from 10-1 to 10-6. They did beat the Chiefs at home. They lost to Cleveland the next week. So this will be the 4th team to come in. Those teams are 1-2. I don't know if that
the last 2 times the Bears have lost.
Yeah.
And the last 2 times the Bears have lost going into the playoffs, they won the first round of the playoffs. That was 2013 and 2010, I believe. The last 2 times the Bears have lost the last game of the regular season, they've won the first round of the playoffs, whatever that means to you.
Well, and the last time the Bears lost 2 games in a row, they went on a 5-game winning streak after, which
you only got to go on a 4
in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Listen, guys.
Scott is saying James's gravestone. Ryan Poles is a fraud.
Yep. He's going to hold on to that till his grave. I agree with you, Kyle. Listen, one thing that needs to be talked about, Scott brought it up earlier. I wanted to get to it, and we kind of just flew by it. The drops from these receivers has just been unacceptable, man. I mean, the highest drop rate. And since week 10, the highest drop rate in the NFL. Caleb has lost 404 yards to drops. Colston Loveland has had no drops all season until these last 2 games. I don't think 2 of those were actually drops. I consider
the first one a drop, man.
When Caleb waited too long to hit him, that's what I'm saying.
You're catching the ball, and this guy's got his hands inside, in between your arms.
Exactly. No, I don't necessarily consider that a drop either.
I don't think he ever caught. I don't think he ever.
But the Bears did.
Chance of catching it.
But the Bears did have 4 counted drops in that game.
Yeah, one of them was
third quarter.
Loveland.
Yeah, Loveland had 1 for sure. 2 were questionable because the defender was right there, and I don't think.
Well, the one from Loveland last week against San Fran, and
that was rough. And Luther Burden on the same drop. Luther Burden last night after the turnover dropped the screenplay that was going to go for at least 20 yards, man.
He might have taken that to the house. Dude.
That was going to go for at least 20 yards.
He might have took that.
So when you can't even account for that in terms of yards lost to a drop ball. Like, how many yards would that have been? Would it have been 10? Would it have been 20? Would it have been fucking 50? We don't know. But like, these receivers have got to start catching the ball because Caleb has been accurate, man. Caleb has been giving them pretty damn good runners balls, and he wasn't doing that to start the season. He's progressing, and it seems like these guys are not holding up their end of the bargain to me. Now, it's not like they're going to catch every pass every time. I understand that. There's going to be some drops, but to have the highest drop rate in the NFL since week 10, that's not really acceptable going into the playoffs, man. And it's something that has to be addressed. It has to be addressed. They got to be on those fucking judgment. Ben
actually commented on it in his presser today. You know, finding out the details, and one of them was tackling and not dropping balls. And if you really want to look at Caleb, was what was he yesterday? 20 for 33? Is that what he was? I didn't look it up. Something like that. He had 4 drops, so that his completion percentage would have been a tad.
And that's the story of the season, Sean, for Caleb Williams. He was 20 of 33 exactly for
20. That's what I thought it was.
Drops, and pre-snap penalties. The Bears are kind of in the lead here in the league.
Lead the league in pre-snap penalties.
Yeah, but the pre-snap penalties also an asterisk because they just haven't caught. Like they were so bad early. They have been better,
but
the last couple of weeks, though,
it's creeping back in.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, it's kind of reversed at the beginning of the year.
They had 2. The Lions had 2, right? I mean, that's a veteran team with a veteran quarterback and a veteran.
I think the Bears had more than 2.
Always going to have pre-snap penalties, but I'm just saying.
Oh, pre-snap penalties.
If you look at the last 6 weeks, the Bears are not the worst team in the NFL in pre-snap penalties. The first 6 weeks, they were the worst team in NFL history pre-snap penalties. But
they still lead the league in it, Kyle.
For sure.
Yeah, Kyle. Because if you're just being an abstract football fan, like if you're looking at, let's say you see these two statistics side by side, and it says the Panthers are leading the league in drops, and they have the most penalties. Pre-snap penalties, you're probably going to be like, man, there's a fucking coaching issue over there or something. You know what I mean? Because that's not like that's a team spread.
I'm smart enough to go. The new coach, second-year quarterback, new offensive line. They haven't played much together. I mean, I can look at perspective. I'm not an idiot. I mean, it's
my wife.
You guys, the thing that's worrisome is what Dustin's talking about is the drops are. I mean, these guys are going to be here no matter. Luther Burden ain't going anywhere. Level ain't going anywhere. Doomsday ain't going anywhere. No, Doomsday was terrible when it's with drops.
Yeah,
maybe it's part of their game.
Randall needs to fix this. That's the point. Randall needs to fix this.
And I'll just say 19 penalties for 100 yards over the past 3 weeks. That's got to get cleaned up a little bit. That's a lot. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's reared its ugly head, and it's
discouraging at this time of the season.
They were playing disciplined football for a little bit.
Yeah, and so Ben,
Sean, what's the average? So that's 6 penalties a game. What's the NFL average?
Let's see.
But the point, though, to me is that as Ben has focused on things, he has fixed them, and he focused on the run game, and he focused on the penalties, and he focused on the pass game, and all these things have started to click. But it's like once you take care of one, the other one pops back up. And right now is the worst possible
They're a league
time.
Average 6.5.
Yeah. Right now is the worst possible time, Kyle. You're going into the playoffs for these things to be popping back up.
Somebody in the group chat said yesterday, this game really doesn't matter because the Bears in the playoffs. That game did matter. It mattered to the Bears big time because you want to go into the playoffs with good momentum. You want to go into the playoffs thinking that you're the shit. You can't be stopped.
No. I said in the text, it's okay the Bears lost because they have the 2 seed still. That's what I said. They're still at home. But no, I don't want them to go into the playoffs limping like they are. Like
going into the playoffs, losing 2 in a row is a problem. The team that they're playing, Kyle, the team that they're playing has lost 4 in a row, and one was to the Bears.
Guys, I still am happy. Listen, and I know you guys are going to hate this because I think if the Bears lose to the Packers, you're going to lose part of the shine of this season, right? But I am still
not just the part, Kyle, the whole fucking thing.
No, because you still have Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson.
Let's talk about this. I love this topic
because this is Dustin, who would you rather? I mean, I'd rather play the Packers than any other team in the NFC right now.
I'd rather play the Rams. Listen, you got to beat the Packers in the wild card, and then if you lose the next round, so fucking be it. If you go into the wild card after the season that the Bears have had, and you lose to the Packers, in my opinion, this season is fucking shot, dude. Like you can't lose to the Packers twice this year.
Maybe as a fan, but not if you're in that locker room. Maybe as a fan, but not if you're in that locker room.
I think it matters to those players an awful lot too. And obviously, I don't think they're going to be happy with a loss.
I don't think I understand, but they're also not going to be like, well, we lost to the Packers. We're still the little brother. Let's just next season we're going to lose to them again. We suck. We're awful. Like that's not going to be the vibe inside Chicago.
That kind of but that sentiment carries over, Kyle.
Listen, you
were 2-4 in your division and won.
I asked you guys this 2 weeks ago.
You were 2-4.
I asked you guys 2 weeks ago. If the Bears get matched up against the Packers in the playoffs and they lose to the Packers, are we still their little brother? Does the shine of this season become dim and rusted? I think you still say it's a successful season. Dude, this is a first-year head coach, second-year quarterback. We won 11 games in the division.
100%. Yeah, the Bears are in a place that I never expected them to be.
Nothing is. I was going to say.
You had to know it was going to be like this, right? Yeah, it had to be the Packers. It had to be the Packers.
I picked the Bears to be 8-9. The reality is, if a couple of balls had bounced a different way, the way that they've played games all season, they very well could be 8-9 or 7-10. Honestly,
or
they could
13. Or they could have if they beat the Packers and they beat the Niners, they're 13 wins.
It could have gone either way. There's been a lot high variance with this football team this year, and if you simulated this season 100 times, you're going to come up with a lot of different records for the Chicago Bears.
That's for a lot of teams in the NFL.
For sure, but some are more consistent than others, and that's why the Bears are underdogs at home in the wild card coming up. But at the end of the day, man, I'm happy. I'm good no matter what. I really am. But at the end of the day, if you lose to the Packers in the playoffs, I'm gonna have a real hard time getting over that. You got to get over this hump and then go from there. Like I'll feel a lot better if they lose in the divisional round after beating the Packers in the wild card and getting over that hump. Because if you don't, you're going into next season with that shit hanging over your head. You 100% are, and you were a division winner that had a losing record in your division at 2-4, and you lost in the playoffs to your division rival.
I'll say this. I'll just say this. It depends how the game goes for me. If the Bears go and lose 35-17, Yeah, it puts a little after losing 2 in a row, it changes. If they play a game like they did in Chicago 2 weeks ago, and it comes down to a final play and they happen to lose, well, that sucks because we lost to the Packers. But well coached game, well played game.
Sean, so then you end up 2
It's
and
a
3
good point, Sean.
Then you go end up 2 and 3 against the Packers in the last 2 years.
I don't want that to happen.
Okay, fine, but you're 0-4 against the Lions. So are you going to the next season just think the Lions are better than you because you're 0-4 in the last 2 years?
The Lions are better than us.
But I mean, are you saying next year we can't beat them? We can't beat them next year. They've already beaten us 4 times with Caleb Williams.
I'm sure we'll give it a better effort, but we are 0-4 in our last 4.
Is nobody else glad that this is
Caleb Williams is getting better. Jared Goff is who he is.
Is nobody else glad about this?
Glad about
I love this.
The fact that we got the Packers in the wild card.
This.
I love it too.
Oh, I'm really
excited.
You gotta win.
I couldn't love it more.
You want to lose?
You got to win.
We have now played a game with a blocked field goal, a winning field goal, an interception, and a touchdown to decide all 4 of these games. This is going to be the most watched football game in NFL history, guys. This is the shit we want to see.
It's the oldest rivalry
this is
in football.
As a football fan, this is what you want. This is going to be awesome.
If I were the Bears,
it's going to be awesome.
I agree. If I were the Bears, guys, I'd be a little pissed off that I'm playing Saturday night. I really would. Like you get a short week with the number 2 seed.
I'm pissed off. Why did they not put that game on Sunday or Monday night, man? That game deserves Sunday or Monday night.
Monday night would have been great. Monday night.
Yeah, it deserves Monday night.
Its ratings on Saturday are going to explode.
No doubt. They would explode on Monday night, though, too.
Yeah,
but the Bears have one less day of work to get in, one less day of health.
Just so you guys know, they switched this around because the 7:00 game was the AFC. They switched this around to put the Bears in this slot.
Of course.
No.
Well, then they moved the AFC to Sunday or Monday because there's 2 NFC games.
Well, and it's interesting because when it came out, and normally for the playoffs, they gave us the TV schedule, and the 7:00 game on Saturday was on CBS, which is usually AFC. So either that was wrong, or they just
I think that might have been wrong, Sean, because Prime has had all these weird
Prime has had it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man. I
don't even understand why we're on Prime. What the fuck is that?
Well, they're going to show it on Fox too, from what I understand.
Fox for the local crowd, not for the nation.
Yeah,
real quick, guys.
Everybody's got Prime.
Not to cut you out, just real quick. I want to say what's up to the chat real quick, man, because these guys are absolutely killing it as always, man. We got another 40 people watching in the building here. So Mikey, Foster, Steve. Thanks for joining the show all the time, man. We appreciate you. Flex, Cliff, Camel Toe, Chad. I haven't seen Chad here often. Thanks so much for
Chad's usually with BCP in their chat. I've seen them. So
thanks for joining us.
James Christo, Ant Mass. Foster, all the originals, Breaking News, Bruce,
Philip,
T,
Phil,
Lions, Ted's like a boss was here.
Prophet,
Paul,
DJ Prophet, Flex Dig,
Camel Toe.
Everybody, there's John. John was here, of course. Mikey,
John
obviously.
S. We love
Phil. Phil's our boy. Phil's our boy. Absolutely,
guys. On Thursday, on our Thursday show, John S. chimed in and said we were the best channel of 2025.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, what a nice thing to say.
Nobody in the chat commented on that, guys. In the chat, how do you feel about this? The Bears Packers. Are you scared? What Dave Portnoy said on his podcast today. Bears fans are terrified. Are you terrified?
Thanks, Chad.
Who said that?
I'm loving every minute of Dave Portnoy said.
You want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
And now we're scared.
No, yeah, fuck Dave Portnoy, man. But there is something to what he's saying. If you lose to your division rival,
of course, because you guys kind of talked about it earlier.
It makes it really hard to feel like this season was a success. It does. It just does.
Yeah, but you know what?
Like you need to take care of business.
Then playing them, and
you're at home.
I'll say
you're at home.
You won
the division.
I'm not scared. I'm just not overly confident. Was that fair?
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I'm just not.
Nobody else feel like
Sean,
this is going to be the final play of the
game
kind of game.
Packers fans, they're going to walk in and just beat the shit out. They're all like, man,
if
the Bears beat us, the tides have turned. Like this.
Guys, what if the Bears lose? What if the Bears lose? What if the Bears lose on the final play of the game?
That's going to be heartbreaking
because that's how these games have gone. It's the final play of the game.
I don't want us to go
it's
that way.
Almost guaranteed
to come out and
going
their
to be
dominance against the Green
Mikey
Bay
says,
Packers. That's what I want.
If they came out and Caleb just torched them for 4 quarters, I would think we are ascending into it's a Super Bowl.
It couldn't be written better for the Chicago Bears.
If they came out and did that to the Packers, you're winning a Super Bowl. Because that is tougher than a Super Bowl.
I think the Eagles were afraid of the Packers. Honestly, it seemed that way. I think it could not be written better for the Chicago Bears. Your fate is in your hands. But a lot of Bears fans, including you, Brandon, and Jay yesterday, were picking the Bears to blow out the Lions. And I was telling you guys, this is going to be a close game down to the wire because that's what this Bears team puts you through. Whether they win or lose on Saturday, you're going to have your nails bitten off. You are going to be down to the wire, and you're going to be heartbroken and exhilarated all at the same time. That's what this Bears team does to you. And I'm good with it. I'm here for it.
Hold on, you guys.
You gotta beat the Packers.
It's like the Bears, the Chicago Bears are like a narcotic. It's like a drug.
Let's address the chat every once in a while here, guys.
Yeah. I just want to know from Buster if that's true or not. That we were third in views in 2025 on YouTube.
No, YouTube views for 25 Baroom. No, I think for him. I think he means for him.
That's the truth, man. We're making it in this world.
Thank you, Foster.
Camel says, is our defense going to suddenly get good after 6 days?
No,
I'll tell you this, listen, they're not, but I'll tell you this. They'll be a lot better with Kyler Gordon instead of CJ Gardner-Johnson. I can tell you that shit. I guarantee you that for a fact.
You got to get Kyler Gordon out there first, man.
I'm saying if he plays, Gardner-Johnson is thin air, guys. He's practiced.
That's what Gardner-Johnson had some great games when he got here with Chicago.
He's had 3 good plays, man.
No, that's not true.
5, 2 sacks and 3 picks or whatever
he has. 3 sacks on the season. He's like the 4th leading sack getter on this team.
You guys remember when
Dustin? He's also given up like 7,558 yards of receiving and 16 touchdowns.
I mean, listen, he was good for what they needed him for when they needed him for it. Now it's kind of running out for sure. But you need Kyler Gordon back.
The first Packers game. Hold on, the first Packers game. Gardner-Johnson, Jordan Love against the slot, which was Gardner-Johnson all game. First Packers game.
Perfect.
Jordan Love was 7 for 7 for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I'm aware. And Gardner-Johnson wasn't supposed to even play in that role going into that game.
To me personally, guys,
Kyler Gordon got injured in warmups.
Not worth the 3 sacks and
was not the game plan. Guys, at the end of the day, you got who you got out there. If Kyler Gordon don't come back healthy, then what we can't be counting on guys. We don't know if they're even going to be here.
It should be Josh Blackwell. I think that's
Tremaine Edmonds.
I'd rather it be Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah,
Tremaine Edmonds
might have to play on the outside.
Tremaine Edmonds was playing at like literal all-pro level.
What happened to him? He went back to last year's Tremaine Edmonds.
Like, let's talk about this because I was so wrong and I was so happy at admitting it because before the season I torched this guy and he was playing at an all-pro level and he comes back from the injury and he's now 3 games in and what the fuck? It's not even like there's not even a linebacker on the field. They brought in DeMarco Jackson because Jermaine Edmonds is so slow. They needed some speed, and Jackson is much faster than Edmonds. I'm sure their 40's close, but there's a difference when you're watching those guys on the field. But what happened is Tremaine Edmonds, is there a possibility, guys, that Tremaine Edmonds can play in the playoffs at the level he played before the injury?
I'm not banking on it. He's been playing like shit since he came back from that injury. He went back to 2025.
Which could imply it's the injury.
Well,
that goes back to Sean. Me, if you're not healthy,
here we go.
Don't play.
I agree with you, but it's a problem.
Well, you guys, I sure hope the whole team comes out with more energy than they did on Sunday against the Lions.
Yeah,
if they come out like that, they're going to lose to anybody. You can't. They came out flat. They came out unmotivated.
The offensive line was really bad.
They were kind of lagging around. They just didn't look good. They look confused.
Guys, we need to take a moment to appreciate that Ozzie Trapillo is definitely your future left tackle because it's different. It's different without him. The first half of that game, that offensive line, I was like, this is not the team that's just been bullying people for the last couple of weeks, man. So because what they did to that Niners defensive line, which is bad. I know that the Niners defensive line is probably the worst in the league, but they just hammered those guys. And then they came out against that Lions team in the first half, and they got pushed into Caleb's lap. Did nobody else feel like that? Like Caleb in the first half was a little more under duress than he's been the last couple of weeks?
I thought Darnell Wright had one of his worst games of the year. I thought the offensive line in general maybe had
Darnell Wright gave up the sack for sure. But Hutchinson's one-on-one with Aiden Hutchinson. Their
run blocking wasn't good, Brandon. Their run blocking wasn't good.
It was bad.
They weren't getting to
That's what I mean. I think the offensive line, who has the last couple of weeks has played their best football, played a pretty bad first half, which is another concern, Dustin. We keep talking about the penalties, the things that were corrected are that is like Ben Johnson's got to get this. This team felt so in command when they were winning that 5-game stretch where they just went and they felt like they were so in belief of the fact that they could be whatever they want to be, and now it just feels like they've embraced that they're a team that got lucky or something. Like
Camel Toe says these losses might be a blessing in disguise. A lot of Bears fans are throwing that out there, and I even saw an article that Ben Johnson
he follows it up here with the Bears coming out hot this weekend.
Yeah, and I read an article today that was suggesting that Ben Johnson really just kind of played dead in this game. And he's being.
I've read a couple of those too.
I don't know how much to buy into that. Like, is Ben Johnson just acting, saying he's pissed off with how they play?
If you're just going to play dead, then don't have your fucking starters out there and risk.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going for it, go for it. If you're going for it, go for it. Pull out all the stops. Go beat that team and go into the playoffs on a high note. If you're gonna, it's the worst of both worlds here because you played your starters.
Oh, I like it.
Because you played your starters and then you got your ass kicked going into the playoffs. If you had sat everyone, at least you could say, "Hey, we sat everyone." You know what I'm saying? Like you run a vanilla offense and you get destroyed and dominated throughout the entire game until the fourth quarter. Like that's not a good way to go into the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be a game where you proved you belong because a lot of people still doubt you.
James agrees with everybody. He said that the Bears purposely had a vanilla game plan.
You're not giving. You don't have to have vanilla to play the Packers because you've just played them.
What if you put Tyson?
Yeah, they got plenty of tape on.
Yeah, you're going to play them for a third time in 6 weeks.
Yeah, but that goes. There's two sides to that coin. This is where Ben Johnson needs to make a difference, guys. We talk about Matt LaFleur being the worst coach in the NFC North. Ben Johnson is playing this guy for the 10th time in his fucking career. It's time to show like you're the dude, because when you are the dude and you play these guys consistently in your division, you got to figure them out and you got to beat them in chess. And I like that the divisional games to me, I said this to you guys yesterday, have been Ben Johnson's worst games.
Well, they're 2-4.
That's what
yes.
And that needs to change because these are the guys these are the guys you're most familiar with. So this is where it stands out if you're smarter than the guy across from you.
I just think if you're playing dead, it don't make no sense. And like if Dennis Allen was doing that, that might make some sense if the defense had been any good at any point all year. What are you hiding? You know what I'm saying? Like you're hiding that you suck. No shit. Everyone already knows that. That's been on film all season. You can't stop anyone. So like the playing dead thing doesn't make sense to me, guys. I don't buy it.
Mikey, I say both. Dustin says zone. Sean, you said zone.
It's going to be a combination of both. I think Dennis Allen's best team is the cover 3 match.
Dennis Allen likes man, but Dustin,
I think if you play man versus Green Bay,
they did not throw that
one at a time.
They did not throw that game. There was not a lack of trying. Caleb and Ben were pissed, genuinely pissed.
Steve, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
Sean was going to answer that question that the chat asked about the man versus zone.
I wanted to get
I just think if they play man versus Jordan Love against those speedy receivers, I think the Bears are in big trouble.
I made the point. The offense, just got to limit.
I think the offense is going to have to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, no doubt. But on defense, you got to limit the bleeding, and the best way to do that is keep 2 safeties over the top.
I'll just say this: you got to
play
run the ball and limit Green Bay's ability.
Oh, Paul, remember he's only played 2 games
on the field.
You got to play quarters. You're right, because what you're doing when you, and especially, and this is where Dennis Allen's strength is. I don't understand Dennis Allen this season, guys. I'm going to be honest. We could have some Dennis Allen conversations. I think this defense could be better than it has been. I'm going to be honest. I really do. But I'm going to say this. I think when he was playing quarters early in the year, you were kind of tempting teams to run the ball against you. And that's why you're giving up the 130 yards or whatever it is you're giving up. But at least when teams were running the ball more often, they weren't scoring as much as they are, like the Niners did. You know what I mean? So I don't like this. The man approach opens the door for teams to run the ball down your fucking it opens the door for teams to pass all over you. Whereas when you play the quarters where you drop your safeties back, you're letting teams try to run the ball against you. And Kyle's said it before on this podcast. That is the one area this defense did progress in, right?
No, they're definitely better.
They were egregiously bad against the run.
I mean, even the Lions, man, they weren't terrible. I mean, they weren't. If you look at the yards per carry, their defense was not good against the run. But if you look at the overall rushing yards, I mean, they weren't.
It's a good point.
You hold Jahmyr Gibbs to 80 yards is not on 19 carries is nothing to be ashamed of. Jahmyr Gibbs tears up everybody. Tears everybody up.
And that's a good point, Kyle, as well. I mean, for sure. It's just, to me, I just think that the way you lose to the Packers is with Jordan Love beating you down.
Yeah,
you saw it in the chat earlier.
And you asked Josh Jacobs to win the game. That's what the fuck.
And they're averaging under 4 yards per carry, the Packers, on the season. I saw it in the chat earlier about Christian Watson. He's a bear killer. I said it going into the first game against the Packers, and he just destroyed them. And that was because they were playing man. As you pointed out, Kyle, C.J. Gardner-Johnson matched up one-on-one on him, or Kevin Byard matched up one-on-one on him. That doesn't work. You have to make sure you have someone kind of matched with them and carry them through the zones, and you have the safety over the top so that he can't beat you deep, because that's what's going to kill you against this Packers team in my mind. That's what I'm 100%. Worried about.
And the Packers will be more healthy next week, as their head coach said today. He expects at least Cooper, Zach Tom, Xavier McKinney, Wicks, Jacobs, Walker, and backup Malik Willis back. And I think their biggest question mark from what I read today
is Jordan Love.
No, Jordan Love is back 100%. Their biggest question mark is if Evan Williams will return. I read today that most of the swelling around his knee has subsided, and he's hoping to get in practice this week. But
I hope not.
He also
I was going to say, as far as the players that are injured for them, he seems to be for this.
Sean, what else did you see from the side?
We also talked
Xavier
about
McKinney. I thought was a little more questionable than what you just made it sound.
This is what Matt LaFleur said in his press conference.
I saw this.
He
Matt LaFleur went over all their injuries
and said he expects them to play. So
okay.
I talked about this.
I'm not the head coach of Green Bay. So
yeah, there's a difference. I'm not calling you. What I'm saying is there's a difference between healthy and able to play.
Sure,
because we've seen Josh Jacobs try to play on one leg, and sometimes it didn't look very good. So hopefully that's what he does. That would be awesome.
I'll be honest.
This team is missing its most important pieces for this season. So
yeah, that's not changing.
Well, Tucker Kraft isn't coming back, but Micah Parsons isn't either. But this defense
is
still very deadly.
Wyatt's been one of the best players on their defense.
This is a good question from Chad, guys. What do you guys think of that question? If we lose bad on Saturday night and our defense looks bad, does Dennis Allen lose his job?
No.
Go ahead, Sean. Get it off. Get it off.
God,
why not?
Sean, go over the Saints. Go over the Saints stats.
2015, when Dennis Allen inherited the New Orleans Saints defense, they were 32nd across the board. By year number 3, they were in the top 10. By year number 5, they were top 5 in every statistical category based on the defensive side of the ball. They also had a streak of almost 2 seasons under him of not allowing a 100-yard rusher. This guy is using a feeling out process.
You need the personnel.
Get his personnel correct. Yep. Hopefully, it may take more than one season, but give this guy some time. He for the love of Christ, he was called the best defensive mind in football not even a couple of years ago, and everyone wants to give up because the personnel's not right.
Sean, a couple of weeks ago,
no chance.
People were praising Dennis Allen like 3 weeks ago.
Well, guys, once again, it's something nobody ever talks about, which is kind of confusing to me because
the injuries.
Bears. You lost Shamar Turner, you lost Dave Frazier, 2 guys he drafted.
He
wanted those guys here. Jesus. They liked Terrell Smith a lot. He talked about that.
Edmonds at an all-pro level.
The guy he used the most when he was talking about coming to the Bears and why he was so intrigued by the job was Kyler Gordon. He's gone.
Kyler Gordon is the best player on this defense.
He's lost pretty all his favorite player. I think Shamar Turner looked good. I mean, listen,
she started to jump off the screen a little bit.
Defensive tackle is tough to learn in the NFL.
Shamar Turner is good.
He was making splash plays.
Shamar Turner's a good player,
and at defensive end too, Kyle.
But he's an injured player.
Yeah, and then you talk about Zay Frazier. Obviously, he liked him. They drafted him. I'm sure Dennis Allen approved that. That guy
Harris liked him.
Yeah, both of them. You know, I'm sure they're in tandem. You talk about
Steve.
Kyler Gordon being the guy he liked the most on the Bears roster.
And Kyle, the injury that nobody remembers that might mean the most. Terrell Smith.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is a guy who would have made a difference on this football team.
A lot.
He was a good football. The first play of his career, he forced a fumble and recovered it. This dude's got a neck. This dude can play football. He would have
old
made a
Minnesota
huge
product.
difference on this football team. What?
The old
Steve
Minnesota
says,
product.
Yep. Steve
Golden
says,
Gopher.
do you
Not
hear there are some
Viking.
guys stepping up on the Packers defense that no one is talking about? Steve, enlighten us, bud. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
if you
please.
want to join us
Not
on Thursday,
Valentine.
Steve, if you
Okay.
want
I
to
can
join
tell you
us on
this,
Thursday
Steve.
for the bare minimum,
I can tell you
you're
this,
welcome,
Steve.
just so you
This
know.
is just my personal opinion, Steve.
I want to hear
but
what he has to say.
When the news broke that they signed Trevon Diggs, and Packers fans were happy about that, if you're signing Trevon Diggs the week before the playoffs and you don't really even have that many substantial injuries to your secondary, you're just signing Trevon Diggs, that's not good.
I agree, Foster.
Well,
Not
and
good.
and
Honestly,
Steve,
I would have liked
Steve,
the Bears to kick the tires on
well,
Trayvon Diggs.
and Steve, this is a weird time to
Trevon
ask
Diggs'
that
numbers are
question.
awful.
Hold on.
He had a
This is
good game on
Hold
Sunday.
on. This is a weird time to ask that question,
Hold on.
Steve, because it's the worst your defense has ever looked. You just allowed 41 points to Tyler Huntley. Derrick Henry ran for a historic. That was one of the most
Huntley.
historic running back games ever by Derrick Henry. Your defense, nobody's really
And you
shining
just
out.
lost to JJ McCarthy and Max Brassard.
Nobody's really shining out. Well, their starters were off the field, but
Well, it's not berate him. Like he doesn't play.
no, I'm not berating him. I'm berating the Packers because their defense is what would be concerning me if I was a Packers fan right now.
More
It
so
wouldn't
than
be-
the offense.
Jordan
that's
Love's
for
been
sure.
Jordan Love's
Yeah.
been out. When Malik Willis was in, he even looked pretty good. I think the Packers offense is a good unit. It is.
Steve.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, Steve.
Their defense has looked very questionable as of late because that Ravens game exposed a lot.
Hey, Brandon, hold on.
Their
hold on.
secondary is
You got
not.
to get Romy what he's asking for.
Yeah, we're
son.
gonna do a mid. We're gonna do a mid show.
Anything you want to get out there before we wrap up?
Shit, fuck Green Bay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, that was for you, Steve, and you, Romy.
Yeah, go ahead and put your helmet on,
Steve,
Jordan
Steve,
Love's helmet one more
Steve,
time.
I don't want to talk like we're speaking out of bias. Like the Packers have a good defense, and they go look at the stats. It's not tough to find. But they are leaky. They're leaky. This is not. It's not like the Packers are just a team where you're like, well, I guarantee you they're going to shut the Bears. They're not the Texans, right? They're not the Broncos. Like the Packers can be had.
The
And
Packers, yes, the Packers can be
Yeah,
had.
and so can the Bears.
Guys,
And so can the
Derek-
Bears.
This could turn into a
Henry-
shootout.
Derrick Henry just destroyed that team.
The
I'll
thing-
say
DeAndre
this.
Swift could rush for 150 yards and 2 TDs. They
They're
just got the guys. The Packers defense was just exposed. The weakness was exploited. Derrick Henry is a good running back, but that's Derrick Henry on a good day has 112 yards and a touchdown, not 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. That if you're the Bears and you're going to this game and you're Ben Johnson, you better be watching that fucking film because they got torched.
problem with that is
Torched.
you don't have a Derrick Henry, Brandon.
Yeah, but Dustin, that's my point.
yeah, you don't.
A Derrick Henry can run for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. What can a DeAndre Swift do?
Not as much as a Derrick Henry.
No, but does he need to? Can he
I mean,
run for 115 yards and 2 TDs?
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Listen, you got to establish the run 100%. The funny thing is, we're talking about this potentially. turning
And
into a
they're
shootout.
looking
Both
their
these
worst.
defenses-
Am I wrong?
These games have not been high scoring games between the Bears and the Packers, guys.
Are the Packers
They have
defense
not been
not
getting in the
looking?
end zone at
Am I
that
the,
clip.
am I the
Yeah.
only fan? Am I the only Bears fan that's like taking a tune to this? Is the Packers defense not looking its worst right now?
Listen, the Packers have lost
Today-
4 in a row, Brandon. The
Brandon,
Packers
so's
have
the Bears.
lost 4 in a row,
So's
and they'll say that it's because
So's the Bears.
they were already set, and it is what it is.
Steve,
That's
you're
a
in the
loser's
chat.
logic.
Is your
But
Packers
I want
defense
them coming to
looking its
Chicago.
worst it
It's
ever
going to be a
has
lot of
now?
fun.
Steve, throw me a yes or a no
Yes,
in the
but
chat.
so is the Bears. The Bears have given 800 yards and 2
Of course, but with that, I just like
yeah, Chad.
that's something that
Max
seems
Crosby
to be kind
fits
of
any defense. Max Crosby will fit any defense, Chad.
that's
just
something
wanted
that's
to throw
been
that
kind
out
of like underlooked.
Yeah, that guy's
is
just all heart, man.
this
All
Packers
heart-
defense
all heart and
is
effort.
falling apart. They were talking about head coaching interviews for the Packers defensive coordinator.
They still are.
Not
He's
the
still
way
on
it's
the-
looking.
He's still
Guys,
on the top.
how
of
big
the
how big
list.
do you guys think this is for the Bears run game? Trapillo versus Benedette. You think that's substantial? You think it's like if the
I
Bears
think any-
I don't
Anytime
know-
you're changing
I don't
the
know
all
if
line
you guys
that
saw
late.
that pregame footage. He was out yesterday before the game.
With that
He
bruise,
was
how
out in
bad
shorts.
that bruise
Yeah,
was?
that bruise. The
Dude,
thing was huge.
dude.
Kyle,
it was
it's
this
huge.
big, and
Yeah.
it looked like a
Kyle,
black hole.
hey. I'm
Ozzy
hoping
Trapillo.
it calms down and he can get out there. But
Ozzy
anytime you
Trapillo
make a
was
change,
let's answer the question. Ozzy Trapillo was ascending into a pure left tackle in the NFL. So this Theo Benedict is not, Cliff. He is not. Theo Benedict is an
he
admirable
is not
effort.
physically talented enough.
He
No.
is an admirable effort. He works very hard. It doesn't matter. Ozzy Trapillo is a fucking mountain.
well,
And if that guy wraps his head around playing the left tackle position, which he has
I'm
been
with you,
doing week
Foster.
by week,
Like CTA.
he might be one of the best players on this offensive line in a year from now.
And listen, man, if anytime
Trapillo needs to be on the field. The Bears need
Well,
Trapillo.
here's the problem with that. If you watch that little footage, I think you saw it, Dustin. He was having a problem just getting out of his stance with that bruise.
Yeah, he was having a problem bending over.
Yeah,
He was just having a problem
bad,
bending
dude.
over.
I don't know how
That's
you got to be
that's not
icing
good.
that and then heating
That's
it up
not
all
good.
week.
Well,
and hopefully
let Dustin answer the question.
anytime you make a change to an offensive line this late in the season, it is a problem, no matter who you're replacing. Ozzy Trapillo had developed a cohesiveness next to Joe Tooney that was working really well. And the cohesiveness overall of this offensive line has been the strength of this Bears offense all season. Whether you could say Caleb, you could say Ben Johnson, you could say these receivers, all of it the running backs, all of it goes because of that offensive line. When you start we've seen it throughout the past with these Bears teams. You start mixing and matching these offensive lines, you have problems. They've had 3 different left tackles, but they had it set and it's solidified. You need Ozzy Trapillo back out there. Period. End of story. He's much more physically gifted than Theo Benedict. He has better technique too at this point, and he is just a better all-around player. On top of the fact that he had found a way to mesh with the other 4 guys to find the best unit possible that the Bears had.
Yeah, and it's
going in the playoffs. You need your best unit on the field for your offensive line.
They
are the key to the Bears winning in the playoffs.
It's a really good point to make because they were looking.
Quad's
and
not
over
good.
the stretch, Dustin, that Trapillo had started left tackle, this offense had progressed. And I'm not going to say it's solely based on Trapillo, but the cohesiveness of the offensive line was clearly something you were watching happening in front of your eyes. And it's a good point to make. I don't know who threw that in the chat, that question, because not, like you said, Dustin, it doesn't matter if it's Benedict, if you threw Braxton, regardless, you lost the cohesiveness. And
it's
that
not the 5 that you've been winning with.
To me, guys, that showed in the first half of that football game pretty badly. I thought that offensive line got pretty beat up in the first half of that football game against the Lions. That was the difference.
I just want to address this comment, guys. Steve said so. I'm assuming you guys all picked the Bears to win big on Saturday. I am not picking the Bears to win big on Saturday. I said earlier, this is going to be cinema. This is going to be a hell of a fight. It's a dog
I'm not
fight.
ready to give my pick yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to
give my pick, but it isn't going to be a blowout.
It's not going to be
either way. It's not going to be a blowout either way. The Packers are going to blow out the Bears, and the Bears are going to blow out. Both these teams will be ready to play, and they're going to beat the shit out of each other.
The kind of game the Bears play, guys, and the Packers are a good team. As much as we dislike them, we can acknowledge that they are a good team, just like that Detroit Lions team is. That Detroit Lions team was a couple balls going a different way from being 10-7 themselves. They really were. So the Bears are going to take good teams down to the wire because we talked about it all show, guys, and went back and forth about it. They do not play a 4-quarter consistent game. That's it. When they play that kind of game, they can beat a team pretty easily, even good.
If the Bears are going to,
I don't see them doing that. I don't.
If the Bears are going to choose to do it, next week would be a great time to do it for the first time.
It fucking really would. And as Foster said, and you agreed with him, you got to run the ball. This Packers defense was gassed every time you ran it down their throat. That was the recipe for success for the Chicago Bears against the Packers. Run the football. Run.
This game's going to be decided on the final play.
You guys, from what I understand, it's supposed to be relatively nice out on Saturday. I mean, not like nice, but it's not supposed to be
nice for January in Chicago.
Who asked if we're projecting a big win? It's going to be a final play of the game.
But it'll be a big win when the Bears win it.
40% chance of rain as of right now for Saturday.
Not a big win. Win big.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, it's a big. I'm not going to.
I think the opposite. It's a big win, but don't win. You're not going to win big.
No, I'm gonna be probably within 3 points, either for the Bears to win. Maybe like Mikey here, maybe a point. I don't know, but it's going to be a close ball game. The thing that I might do though is surprise myself and have it a little bit more higher scoring than I think.
Yeah, it is. Because Sean, absolutely. We just talked about it. The Packers offense is the strongest unit on that team. Their defense, I don't know if I'm the only person seeing
Guys,
this. I watched the Ravens Packers game where they weren't backups. They played their starting
We
defense.
just spent a whole show talking about how this Bears offense can't get it going except for one quarter, and we're going to have a high-scoring game. The Bears and Packers have not been high-scoring games up to this point.
But the offensive units on both these teams are the stronger side of the ball. There's no doubt about it.
I hope it's high scoring because the Bears have to score 25 points to win because look at their record.
That I agree. Well, here, not only that, because once again,
but you talk about
less
Caleb.
turnovers.
You talk about Caleb and the mistakes he might make or the throws he doesn't see and the open
there,
guys.
Not
This is a game where DeAndre Swift needs to torch this team, guys. How confident do you feel in DeAndre Swift against a defense that's depleted and can't stop a fucking nosebleed of a running back? 200 yards and 4 touchdowns? Are you kidding me?
I don't see. You keep going back to comparing it to Derrick Henry. It's a little different. It's a little different.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry, no running back gets 200 yards and 4 touchdowns against anybody.
Well, Derrick Henry's done it a couple times.
Derrick Henry is a different animal.
No, I don't know if Derrick. I thought that was the first 4 touchdown game of his career.
No, Brennan, remember, at the same week that Derrick Henry did that.
First 4 touchdown
hold on, the same week that Derrick Henry did that, Christian McCaffrey had his best game of his entire career against the Chicago Bears.
How are you depleted, Steve?
Week, bro.
You're missing Wyatt and Evan Williams, your 2 best run defenders. You're missing Micah Parsons, the guy who How are you depleted? Is that a real question? Do I really have to answer that question? Is that a real question?
But they played against that team with those same injuries.
Guys, since the loss of Parsons, this defense has been egregious. The Packers scored like 28 points. Since the loss of and Parsons was in most of that game. Since the loss of Micah Parsons, I guess I'm the only person seeing it. This Packers defense has not been good. They're not good.
Okay, listen, the Bears offense needs to be good for 4 quarters, Brandon, to beat them. You went down to the wire with Malik Willis as their starting quarterback. They dealt with all these
the Bears offense has a 3-quarter problem that I referred to earlier.
It took the perfect pass in overtime to beat this Packers team with Malik Willis as the quarterback.
Your offense choked. Your offense choked for 3 quarters because Ben Johnson loses 3 quarters of every game.
You guys, we just had this conversation. We talked about the offense versus the defense, and we talked about.
Thank you, Harris. Thank you, Kyle.
He asked us if we thought that the first question Steve asked. We talked about this for an hour. Listen, I understand what you're trying to say, Brandon. The Packers defense has fallen off a little bit, and that's going to happen with injuries. But
they just look like they lost some pretty damn good players.
I just don't think Derrick Henry is a good example to use to be like, well, Derrick Henry beat the fuck out of them.
Well, guys, let me ask you this. If Micah Parsons, hold on. If Micah Parsons, Wyatt, and Evan Williams are on the field against Derrick Henry,
what's up, JTK?
Does he run for fucking 200 yards and 4 touchdowns?
Maybe. It's Derrick Henry. He's the king.
Dude, he's amazing.
You really believe that? One of the best run stuffers in the NFL.
He's not a Hall of Famer, bro.
Listen, obviously the Packers are not as good as they could be.
Wyatt is better than you give him credit for.
Obviously, the Packers are not as good as they could be with those players, but the Bears don't have a Derrick Henry. The Bears do need to establish the run, and Kyle Monungai needs to be a big part of that. He needs to go out there and break some more helmets. I am all for it. That's got to be the recipe to
more
win.
Physical.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But to compare it to Derrick Henry is a bit of a stretch because neither one of those running backs
you're not nobody's like embracing the fact this Packers defense is completely falling apart. I don't understand. I'm like
I totally understand. Fallen apart. But they played this same defense just a few weeks ago, man. And that defense held them down.
They're injured.
They needed an onside kick, Brandon.
They're missing starters.
Game's gonna be really, really good. It's gonna be tight.
Kyle said the Bears defense is bad because of health. The Packers are in the same boat, if not worse. Not
worse because of health. Maybe not bad because of health, but definitely worse because of health. No doubt about it.
What about the Packers?
Yes, they're also worse because of health. But dude, losing Micah Parsons is huge. That's huge.
And Wyatt was about to be an all-pro player. Wyatt was like the best nose tackle in football at the time he got injured.
There's one you brought up earlier that nobody talks about. Tucker Kraft was huge for them too. That was huge.
Yeah, he was their best pass catcher. Yeah.
He might be their best player outside of Micah Parsons. He might be their best player.
Flex, I'm with you. Flex says this, and this is a great point. And this is kind of where I'm at with the Ben Johnson thing. We talked about it a good portion of the show. Says I can't get aboard the BJ loses for 3/4 of the game train. In a boxing match, sometimes you get a KO right away, but most times you have to feel out your opponent for a few rounds to land your shot, and your opponent is doing the same thing.
Really good,
and
really good
exactly. And these coaches are going back and forth, and the coach on the other side is not coaching for the 4 quarters full either. If the Bears are coming away with the win, and they only did it for 1 quarter, Ben Johnson is learning on the job.
Okay, but what is the coach? What is the coach?
Ben
What
Johnson
is
is learning on the job. He is getting better every game, and he is coming out on top more often than not.
What is the opposing
grand scheme
coach
of this thing? Ben Johnson is the Bears' future, and
Well,
he
3
is
of the
present,
last 5.
and he's
No.
playing. He's coaching really fucking well against some of the best coaches in the NFL.
Sean,
man.
don't even
3 of the last 5 he
Sean,
has lost. But
Sean,
let
I
me
just
ask
want
you
to say
this.
to Kyle Harris,
Let me ask you
fully
this.
healthy, Green Bay fucks up Chicago. Fully healthy, they won by 7 points.
Let me ask you this. What is
Yeah.
Williams
Ben,
was there,
what
Micah
is-
Parsons was
And,
there,
and Caleb had
whatever.
Cole
Guys,
Kmet.
we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. What is
We
because
talked about it enough.
what
We
is
just had a
the
comment
other?
from
What are
chat.
the other coaches in the NFL like that score in the first 3 quarters have that Ben Johnson doesn't? Please tell me that.
What does Ben Johnson have that the coaches who lose to him don't have?
Answer, Dustin.
But
I don't know.
It's not that simple of an answer. It's a very nuanced answer. And as Flex was pointing out, you're feeling your opponent out. You're trying to figure out through the game. And
So
you're
if
trying to
you
make adjustments.
so Flex,
The team across from you and has a good game plan too,
It's
Brandon,
subjective.
and
Okay,
has
but
good
Flex,
players and good coaches.
Are you okay with this team for the rest of Ben Johnson's tenure for the next 5
That's not what
years?
it's going to be for the next 5
Hold
years.
on.
It's not.
If this team were to lose 3 quarters and win 1, are you okay with that? Is that the Bears team you want to? Is this Bears team? Is this Bears team?
Is Ben Johnson not developing too? Is Ben Johnson not a rookie who is learning as well? What are you talking about? How would you expect that to be Ben Johnson's resume?
Kyle, help me out here, Kyle, because I know you see it my way. We are negating a problem that's existed all season long by saying Ben Johnson does this, that, or it's existed all season long. They've played bad for 3 quarters for most of this season. What are you arguing, Dustin? It needs to be better, Dustin. It needs to be better. It needs to be better. For 3 quarters of the football game, they need to play better football. Am I fucking wrong?
All right, you guys are arguing nuance, like you said.
Am I wrong?
Sean,
Kyle, for the first 3 quarters of every football game, do the Bears need to be a little better than they've been?
All you gotta say is come out and say the Bears cannot come out sluggish this week. They cannot come out sluggish. That's all you gotta say.
I don't know what I'm missing.
They gotta be on fire.
Yeah, but what you're missing is that you're putting it all on Ben Johnson, and there's
I'm not putting it all on Ben Johnson. I'm putting it all on the team, but the team is controlled by Ben Johnson.
So you're putting it all on Ben Johnson. Yes, that's what you're doing.
Ben Johnson is in control of fixing problems, Dustin. It's been a problem all year. He's in charge of fixing. He is in charge of fixing problems. If something has persisted, guys, hold on. Is the 3 quarter a problem? Is the 3 quarter a bad football
problem? You really lost everyone when you're talking about 5 years from now. If that's still happening, if 5 years from now, if that's still happening, he's not going to be the Chicago Bears head coach.
Is this a problem?
Going to be
Kyle. Is this a problem? Is the 3 quarters of football a problem?
What Ben Johnson is doing in this season?
Can I fucking finish what I'm saying? Is the 3 quarters of football a problem, Kyle?
We've already agreed that it is.
Okay. Has it persisted? Has it persisted all year?
No one's debating that, Brandon.
Is that a problem with your coaching?
It's a problem with the team,
which is led by.
And it's a rookie head coach, and I agree.
Okay, so you just admitted there's a reason why the coach is doing it, but he's doing it.
I agree that the quarterback's the problem. I agree that the offensive line's the problem. I agree that the coach is the problem.
There's no.
I agree that when you don't block and you
combination of a lot of things,
you do. There's a lot of things that go.
Of course it is, but there's one person in control of it. Gentlemen.
Yes, and if you don't think that Ben Johnson is working to fix that and is going to fix that, as
he hasn't
in his
career all year, and it's not fixed.
This team is who they are for this year. We're going to live and die with that.
I said earlier on this show. Hold on. This is important because I said this earlier. A person can be good. Ben Johnson can be a good head coach, and we can be critical of something that's not fucking going well. And guess what? The 3 quarter problem has existed the the entire duration of this season, and it is up to fucking Ben Johnson to fix it. It's up to Ben Johnson, guys. I don't know who else you're going to look to. You can Ryan Poles. What do you want? So Ben Johnson needs to fix this problem that's persisted all season long. It's still a problem. We saw it in the last game of the final game, our finale. So Ben Johnson has to. If Ben Johnson were to fix this problem against this Packers team, Sean said it earlier. You have a quarterback that can torch football teams. You have a run game that's second, third best in the league. If Ben Johnson can fix the 3-quarter problem, if you fix the
run game,
if you can play 4 quarters of football, you can fucking beat anybody, and you can beat the shit out of them. Well, that's my belief.
Again, and that's going to take some time, dude. This is the first year.
Okay, but it is still a problem, regardless of how long it takes to fix.
But then you start extrapolating it out to years from now. If it's not fixed?
No, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated that we're like absolving our head coach of a problem that's persisted all year long.
No one's absolving anybody, Brandon. But this is something Kyle and I have been talking about for over a month. That I'm glad you're finally catching up to.
Yeah, but you've been blaming it on one person, Sean.
I have not been blaming it solely on Caleb Williams. But when Caleb Williams needs to be criticized, you bet your fucking ass I'm going to criticize him.
I do too.
Hey guys,
Ben Johnson needs to be criticized. I've been on here and criticizing him. I've told you when
should he be, Sean?
I told you when he's been out coached.
Should he be?
But Ben Johnson isn't under center. Ben Johnson isn't the one underthrowing balls, overthrowing balls.
But Sean,
what the defense
Ben Johnson has
Sean, should he be accountable for the fact that
Ben
the
Johnson
same
comes out in his press conference and holds himself accountable every single freaking week?
Should he
hold himself accountable?
Should we
himself accountable this week again?
Should we criticize him?
That's why he's going to get better.
Should we criticize him for a problem that's existed all season?
You guys, let's move on from the conversation.
Yeah, Sean, you got playoff stuff you wanted to get into.
No. Should we criticize Ben Johnson for a problem?
Brandon, we've beat this
all
topic
season
to death.
long.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on. Get the fuck on, dude.
It's time to move on. We've beat this topic to death.
It was dead, and somebody brought it back up.
The chat made a good point. We could have let that be.
Or I could speak my mind.
Yeah, of course
one
you
or
can.
the other, Dustin, for sure. Next time somebody says something in the chat you don't agree with, just shut the fuck up.
And now you've done that, so we can move on. You had the floor to speak your mind.
Who doesn't know football? Who's James talking about here?
You guys, let's just move on. Sean, what was the playoffs thing you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. You had a thing.
There's just some interesting facts that I found today for some of these playoff teams, and before we make some of our picks, because I know who I won in the Super Bowl. And some of these underlying things have been really crazy. There's a couple streaks on the line. I don't know if you guys heard about Pittsburgh streak. And I do believe this is why Pittsburgh was put on Monday night. The Steelers and Texans. Fact or fiction? The Texans go into Pittsburgh and win that, or that is in Pittsburgh, isn't it?
Yes, it's in Pittsburgh. They're the 4-5.
They go into Pittsburgh. Yes, duh. My notes say Monday night in Pittsburgh. Yep. The Steelers have 2 streaks to put on the line. They have not lost a home Monday night game since 1991, and they also haven't won a playoff game, the Pittsburgh Steelers, since 2016. Now, as we do that.
The NFL really fucked them.
The Texans are going to kill them.
I cannot.
Now, hold on. Not done.
Oh, Jesus.
DJ Stroud
this is a long
is
one.
2-0 at home and 0-2 on the road in his playoff career. What gives in this game?
I don't care about CJ Stroud. I know that the Steelers limped in. They're not that good of a football team, and the Texans defense has been absolutely remarkable. They've won what?
Up until this past Sunday.
They've won what?
When Riley Leonard
big plays to Riley Leonard.
Sean, they also had half.
They pulled starters.
Yeah, they pulled starters in that game, man. They pulled
starters. They did.
They pulled a ton of them. And on top of that, we all know that, and they won the game. And we all know that teams, when they look at the Bears, look at the teams that were guaranteed play spots. They all look.
No, they're on a 9-game win streak, the longest in the NFL.
I thought that was the Jaguars.
No, that's the Texans with a 9-game win streak.
The Texans are the hottest team.
Yes, the Jaguars are 8. Yes,
Texans are the hottest team going.
Texans and Jaguars both.
So the Texans are going to.
Yeah, the Steelers are going to lose. Just to be clear, the Texans are going to beat the Steelers. The Steelers are not a good football team.
Sean,
they didn't want to win that game. Obviously,
Texans are going to hammer the Steelers.
I think the most important part of that game is the Texans get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Quarterbacks who are athletic can move around and get out of the pocket.
And Aaron Rodgers is not that.
Aaron Rodgers is not athletic.
Not that.
He can't move around a lot. And they're going to absolutely destroy
I'm
him.
taking Houston in that game. I just thought some of these facts and stats were interesting. I am taking Houston.
But Sean, did you see how much Riley Leonard ran? He ran around a lot. He extended a lot of plays. A lot.
And he threw a lot off platform,
Aaron Rodgers
ran
ain't
out of the
extended
pocket
shit.
and threw it downfield.
Sean, here's how irrelevant CJ Stroud's record in the road is in the playoffs. Davis Mills would beat the Steelers.
Maybe.
Listen, the Steelers team continues to find ways to win.
Davis
They're
Mills
like
just
they're
won a
kind of like
football.
the Bears of the AFC this year in terms of
don't
lucky.
discount the Steelers. Is all.
Yeah, I don't want to. And Mike Tomlin is the shit. Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach. So if any coach can pull it off, it's him. I would bet on the Houston Texans. I don't think the Steelers.
I'm gonna bet. I probably will. What this one is interesting, as we just talked about. The Jaguars are one of the hottest teams coming in playoffs. We all agree.
Yeah. Eight wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills have not won a road playoff game in their last 8. They are 0-4 under Josh Allen and 0-4. Those other 4 would be in the Super Bowl. Kyle brought up a point earlier.
Was that seriously the last time that they went to the playoffs before Josh Allen? The
Jim
Super
Kelly?
Bowl with Marv Levy?
They don't. Yeah, Buffalo was shit for a long time.
Yeah,
dude.
they were, but that's
Their last road playoff win is 1993 in Miami. Do they go to Duval County and upset the Jaguars?
Remember, those stats are skewed. Those statistics.
The Bills are
go ahead, Kyle.
Those are
the Bills are favored in that game, aren't
but you're
they?
talking about
are they 1.5 point underdogs?
3 of the last 4 losses on the road are because they had to go to play Kansas City and the mighty Chiefs. That's not that was a tall task for the first 3 years, 4 years of that Chiefs run there. I mean, they were going to beat anybody. They were
that Jaguars game is going to be a good football game.
The Jaguars aren't the Chiefs. Do I think that the Bills are going to beat the Jaguars? No, not necessarily. But they're not the Chiefs. The Jags are not the Chiefs. They don't have the championship pedigree.
So you're taking the Bills in Duval County?
If I'm betting between Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence, I am taking Josh Allen.
I think I'm gonna take the Bills. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I really do. I think I'm gonna take the Bills. Listen, I think
it's unfortunate for the Jaguars that's the matchup they drew. They could have had the Chargers.
It just
the
wouldn't
Bills
surprise,
are going to beat the Jaguars.
It wouldn't surprise me if Josh Allen puts the team on his shoulders and he does some miraculous, crazy
100%.
shit,
all the way to the Super Bowl, Kyle. All the way to the Super Bowl.
I think I'm taking the Jaguars in that game, Sean.
I'm on the fence. You guys know I want Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl. I'm on the fence. I'm going to have to get into this game a little bit more.
The Bills are going to win that game, guys.
Sean McDermott loses in the playoffs to a rookie head coach, and it proves that he's ass.
And that Brandon was right, which is what matters the most.
Well, no, that he's ass. No, more importantly, that he's ass. He's not.
Here's the next one. I picked this out.
His
just
defense sucks.
Nice, Foster. You're still in it, bud. You're still in it, man. Nice pick. Hamsters Buffalo is realistic.
Yeah, it is very much so. Bills are winning that game.
I picked this one out for you, Dustin. New England has not lost a road or a home playoff game since 1996. There is one exception: the shitty COVID year
Once
where
again,
they back to the playoffs.
That's Tom Brady.
Yeah,
no, there is asterisks. I understand. You have the Chargers coming in as 4-point underdogs. Justin Herbert.
It was 3.5 last I saw. It went up. Huh?
No, it's 3.5. It's 3.5. That's 4 if you're betting. So I just said 4. Yeah. Justin Herbert has 0 playoff wins in his 2 attempts. Who are you taking in this football game?
Taking the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots seem to make the most sense, but I've been so high on the Chargers, but they haven't been the team I expected them to be because of the injuries. It's amazing, honestly, that the Chargers even made the playoffs, guys.
They have, amazing. They know that all 5 of their offensive linemen are ranked the bottom 5 of every single left tackle. Left
Justin Herbert is the most hit quarterback in NFL history.
I mean, when you lose 2 stud tackles,
that tends to happen.
It tends
to happen, but that Chargers defense is really good. This is not going to be an easy game for the Patriots. I think the Patriots got the best draw possible for the number 2 seed. My head says the Patriots, my heart says the Chargers, so I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I say if the Chargers are healthy, they kill them. Without
the Chargers haven't been healthy all year.
I think the Patriots are going to fucking hammer that team.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers.
It's going to be like 28.
Sean's taking the Chargers, and I want to hear why.
Because the Patriots are 1-2 versus the field of the playoffs, and those are the only 3 playoff teams they played all season.
Easiest schedule in the last 25 years.
Easiest schedule, and I do believe Harbaugh
also
will
have the
test
league's MVP
in this football game.
Matt Stafford's going to win MVP, bro.
I do believe that. I'm going to take the
Yeah,
Chargers.
in my mind.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
You got to vote.
I think that Patriots team is much less talented than the Rams are. I think.
Well, they
Drake
also
May-
played a much easier schedule.
Drake
It's very
May is
close.
the MVP.
This is a good conversation.
It's
too.
a great game.
It's very close between Drake May and Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford just threw 46 touchdowns. They were the 5 seed. You don't give the MVP to less than the 1-2 seed historically. If you go back and look, it's the 1 or 2 seed that gets the MVP. But I believe that because Matt Stafford, it's like a lifetime achievement award for him. He's on his way out. He's never got the MVP, and everyone loves Matt Stafford. And he has the stats to back it up.
But you also have to
Matt
look
Stafford's
at
going to win the MVP, guys.
You also have to look at the division and say they all had 11 plus wins in that division. It's hard to win your division when everybody else is winning.
The Rams played a much tougher schedule in a much tougher division. 100%.
I think the Patriots were last place in their division.
Yeah, you guys noticed?
Yeah, they were
last. You guys noticed
13-4.
You guys noticed in the last week of the season, the other division that had all 4 winning teams.
It was the NFC North.
The NFC
First division since what was it 2022?
North is,
when the
is
NFC East.
Did you guys know there's only one division this year where the same team won as last year? 7 of 8 divisions had new winners.
And you know what? This is the first time a team in the NFC East has won in the division back-to-back in 24 years.
Yep. And we called that to start.
And that leads me to my next one.
Real quick. I just want to. You'll get to it. But who's your MVP, Sean? Is it Stafford or is it May?
I'd probably go with Stafford just based on schedule. I think he's had to do it against harder opponents.
I've been saying Stafford for 6 weeks, man. I'm not coming off that. I think whoever has the most touchdowns should be the MVP. He had the most touchdowns. He's the most valuable. If Stafford would have got hurt at any point this season, the Rams would have been a dog shit football team. We've seen that in the past numerous times.
Wait a minute, you don't have faith in Stenson Bennett?
No, I
do.
No,
I like Stetson Bennett. It's going to happen at some point for Stetson Bennett.
I got to say, man, a sophomore quarterback in a new system, the same as Caleb Williams, who only played a half a year last year as a rookie, and is leads the league in completion percentage.
Leads the league in completion percentage.
I gotta go Drake May. They went from last place in their division to first place.
Oh, Brent, you've never really been a stat guy. Always pick a guy who doesn't have.
Well, here's a stat for you, Kyle. The last two quarterbacks to lead the league in yards per attempt and completion percentage: Kurt Warner in 2001 or 2002, I believe, and Tom Brady in 2007.
Listen,
they both won the MVP.
I'm not saying what he has done is not impressive. I love Drake, man. I think he's going to be a good.
I just knew the Rams would be good because they have a good football team.
But
Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are a lot different.
Burnen's using youth against Burnen's using youth against Drake May. Matthew Stafford's doing this with a broken body at 40 years old.
He had like no vertebrae.
The guy's had like 68 back injuries in the span of 9 years.
Who's Drake May's number 2 receiver?
Hunter
it's
Henry?
Been Booty. It was Booty for most of the year.
It's Hunter Henry.
Kyle Wilson, Hunter Henry.
The same as Stafford throws the stats. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are having like historical seasons in the NFL
and great yards after catch.
And Sean McVay's the coach. I just don't know that Drake May was in a situation where he should have won as many games as he did. Where Stafford, I told you guys before the season started, that Rams team should win that division.
If Drake May,
they didn't, but they're a good football.
If Drake May plays the same schedule, the Patriots play the same schedule as the Rams did.
They don't win the division
twice. They play Seattle twice. They play.
And if you switch Drake May and Matt Stafford on their teams, I think the Patriots probably still win 13 games with Matt Stafford as their quarterback.
You don't think Drake May to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams would be a good.
The other argument for Drake May is that he's run for a lot of first downs this year. He's
70% completion thrower to the two best receivers.
He's the 4th leading rushing quarterback in the NFL, and that offensive line has been rough for the Patriots all year. That's another thing that leads towards Drake May. It's really close. I'm giving it to Stafford.
I'll say this, Dustin. If one of them wins in the first round, one of them loses, that's going to be huge.
It won't impact it because the votes will be done. The votes are not. It's not playoffs.
Oh well, then for me personally,
Stafford's going to get it because of the story.
In order for me to prove to your MVP, you have to be good teams. I'm sorry, it's not Drake May's fault that he never played anybody in this. But if Drake May played a defense like Seattle, like the Seattle Seahawks, I don't think Drake May wins
twice in a year. Yeah,
I don't think he wins.
Listen, Foster, I picked the Seahawks.
Drake May though did beat the best teams he played.
And he also lost to the Raiders.
He's 1-2 against playoff teams. They 1-2 against playoff teams. Sean just said it.
Yeah, Foster, I picked the Seahawks to go to the playoffs.
Well, the Rams lost to the Seahawks and the Panthers. I don't know what their playoff record is, but I think they lost to the Niners once.
All right, let's move on to what Sean had. I think Brandon's got May. We all got Stafford. It's a fair conversation. I think it's a very close conversation, to be honest.
You got Christian McCaffrey traveling across the country with the San Francisco 49ers. Dustin's second favorite boys, maybe his favorite boys. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Jalen Hurts.
It's turned towards the Bears here in my later years.
Okay, all right, good. That's good. Jalen Hurts is 5-0 all time in the playoffs at home. Brock Purdy 4-0 at home, but 0-1 on the road in his playoff career. The Niners come into this game 4.5-point dogs.
I'm going Eagles, man. That defense is on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time picking the Niners to win that game, dude, especially the way they looked against Seattle.
Well, they had 2 more injuries.
It's like they're magic.
Another linebacker, bro.
Yeah, man, for the season.
Another linebacker.
Jalen Hurts is the best.
Done.
Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal.
He's been like their saving grace. Since
him and D. Winters. D. Winters got hurt in that game, too. He's going to be okay.
They lost 3 guys in that game.
Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback when he's not rushed.
That's
and
a
that
great
Niners
flex.
pass rush
flex.
Is the worst. That Niners pass rush had like 16 sacks or something. The Bears are
17,
bad. They had like
on the season.
That is egregious. I said, or do you guys in a text, Nick Bosa is the most important injury in the NFL this year, and he is. That team, that pass rush is terrible. Jalen Hurts is going to carve that team apart.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to take that game, guys. As much as that pains me to say, the Niners' luck and magic might have just run out. It's amazing. Another team. It's amazing that they got to even where they got to with a chance to win the 1 seed in a year that the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara. How amazing was that? They were
they could have pulled that game out, man.
Yeah, man. But their luck ran out. Their magic ran out. I think they're about done.
Without the injuries, the team I picked to be in the Super Bowl was the Niners. I think without the
same here.
They were in the Super Bowl.
Kyle, I had the Niners in the Super Bowl too. I had the
Eagles and the Bills.
Well.
So
I had Bills, Niners. I was between the Eagles and Niners. I was on the fence.
Let me ask you guys this. I got 2 more. The next one is the Rams traveling to Carolina, who just beat the Rams in Carolina. Can Carolina recreate that magic and beat the Rams for a second time on the road? Now, mind you, the Rams have lost, I believe, 4 straight road games and really struggled away from LA.
The Rams almost lost 3 in a row to end their season.
That's what I'm saying.
This NFL season is crazy. Listen, did you watch the Panthers in that game? Oh my God! On Saturday, that was Saturday. Did you watch them? They're not good. They're not good. And the fact that they couldn't even win that, you win that game and it's done, and you couldn't pull it off, and you got to wait for the Falcons to save your ass. It's like, it's just comical. The NFC South is comical. In the playoffs, I don't see that. I think that they can stop the run at a pretty decent clip, and Kyron Williams and Corum are both injured. So that hurts for the Rams potentially. They're both been dealing with injuries. They were dealing with injuries going into this last game. So that could potentially hurt the Rams, but I think the Rams take care of business against the Panthers team that's just, I think that they'll be just happy to be there.
Didn't the Panthers just beat the Rams?
They did 31-28. It was a late comeback. It was a late comeback to make it that
Matt Stafford turned the ball over 3 or 4 times in that game.
Their defense. The Panthers defense is really good
in that game.
Yeah.
Now
the Panthers defense should not be slept on.
The Rams have lost 3 straight road games coming into this, and one of them was in Carolina. So
yeah, I'd have a real hard time picking the Panthers to win that game.
Devontae Adams will be back, and he was not in that game when they played in Carolina.
Devontae Adams is huge. That's a huge loss, man. You're talking about he was leading the league in touchdown receptions when he got hurt. Yeah. He had like 11. That's their tush push.
Yeah, I got the Rams, man.
I'm going Rams.
There's no way I can pick any team from the NFC South. Get out of here. 8 and 9.
Here's the last one I got for you. Does Sam Darnold win a playoff game? Does Seattle win a playoff game with Sam Darnold under center?
No. And I've been the highest of all of us on Seattle since the offseason. But like Sam Darnold leads the league in turnovers, and he is ripe for a first game upset. Yep. And that opens the door for the Bears to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs after they beat the fucking dirty Packers.
Yeah, it makes the Bears.
Relentless Mikey says the Seahawks. Are you saying the Seahawks do going to win, Mikey?
I don't know. Listen, the Seahawks are a good team. That defense is top 5.
The defense is good, man.
It's really good, but that offense is stagnant. They got nothing without JSN. Their running game's been getting going a little bit, but
Dude,
I don't think they have something that they can go to consistently.
Charbonnet's a fucking monster.
If the Seahawks and Eagles got matched up, it would be like 6-3.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That would be
the fact that the Seahawks did not score like 30 points against the Niners it kind of proves my point. They should have blown out the
Sam
Niners.
Justin, and I said that game was going to be close. People like the Seahawks are going to blow them out. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't drop that pass that turns into an interception, if that doesn't roll off of his hands,
then that game's completely different.
That's a one-score game with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, field goal game with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I think the Niners probably could have pulled it off. That destroyed the Niners. That was the first drive where the Niners looked really good. They moved the ball down the field, and then the Christian McCaffrey dropped that ball. That killed me. I'm like, dude, Christian,
we just talked
of all people.
We just talked about the Niners pass rush, and Sam Darnold was ass, dude. That Niners pass rush, guys, is like historically bad. I'm watching those games like, my God, I think the Bears pass rush is bad.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is egregious.
Yes, they are. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle goes to the Super Bowl, guys. In this season, I really wouldn't. But like, if there's a team that's right to get upset in their first playoff game, I've been saying this for the last week. Like, I wanted Seattle to get that 1 seed because as a Bears fan, I'm kind of hopeful that they could have a bad enough game that they lose in that first matchup, and then that opens up the floor for the Bears to potentially have home field throughout these playoffs. I think that was the best.
It would be one more game because the Bears are going to have home field advantage for 2 games at least.
People keep saying, the first quarterback ever to play with 2 different teams in consecutive years and have 13 wins is Sam Darnold. Yeah, what did Sam Darnold do with the Vikings last year in the playoffs? What happened to the Vikings? They're 13
and the last game of the season too. Yeah,
they saw.
Yep. We'll see, man. I Sam Darnold's ripe for some turnovers, so I like the Bears' chances. It opens the door for the Bears. That's the reason I'm saying this. Seattle's a damn good team. They are
good defense.
Did you guys notice too that every single playoff game this week is in the Midwest or on the East Coast?
Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing out
well,
west.
Carolina is the South, technically, ain't it?
I guess.
Not really the Midwest.
It's kind of East Coast, Southeast.
It's getting there, yeah. It's getting
Southeast.
There. Yeah. We got anything else, guys? We're at 2 hours 10 minutes. You got anything else?
No, I wanted to ask you guys a question. And it's totally off base, and we'll talk about it in the off season. But Sean and I were talking about it on the phone today, and I just want to ask you guys: if the Giants get a really good coach,
because the Bears have home field advantage, Steve. If the Seahawks lose, the Packers don't. The Packers are on the road for the fucking wild card, Steve. That's how this works. That's why it opens the door for the Bears.
If the Giants get a really good coach,
Packers are on the road no matter what. They're the 7th seed. They're the last seed.
Is it out of the realm of possibility?
No matter what,
if the New York Giants win the NFC East next year?
Yes.
Is it out of the realm of possibility?
It's not.
If the Giants get a damn good coach, Jackson Dart, Scams Kidaboo, Malik Neighbors, that defense, those pass rushers are only going to get better. You're talking about
Abdul Carter, by the way, has been
that team is scrappy.
Fire.
They're scrappy. They have a bunch of energy.
I don't know if everybody's seen this. Abdul Carter's been a monster in the last 3 weeks of the year. That guy is that.
I like that Giants team. That's the best coaching job available, and if they get the right coach, they will turn it around quickly. We've seen that this year with all these teams and how they've done that.
They need a healthy
Jaguars, the Patriots, the Bears, and I think they will have that. They got way too much talent. The best coach is going to want to go there. They'll have the choice of the best coach, and I think they'll turn it around quickly.
I think it might be Indiana's coach. Now, real quick, guys, how happy are you guys that it's now 8-12 on Monday, and the Lions have not fired their offensive coordinator?
Oh, it's going to happen.
I hope he's their offensive coordinator.
Kyle, they basically fired him in the middle of the season. So he's already fired.
Would you expected that news to come out immediately? Like, I thought for sure.
Did Todd Bowles get fired yet?
Todd Bowles ain't getting fired, dude.
Jesus Christ. I feel terrible for Tampa. Fuck. That guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck Tampa anyways. Their creamsicle jerseys.
What did Todd Bowles do?
He fucking sucks. All that fucking talent, and this team can't. They should have fucking won the South by fucking 4
games. But Baker kind of looked like a different dude, man.
Gentlemen, I got a crying baby. I got to get on out of here. I appreciate y'all.
We love y'all. Thank y'all. Hey,
chat.
don't forget, we'll be back Wednesday for the Barely There podcast. We have been gone because of the holidays, but we're back. We're going to fire on all cylinders. We're going to get into this Bears-Packers game. We're going to talk about it all with you on Wednesday, then follow it up with the bare minimum on Thursday, and of course Saturday 10 a.m. final look at the Bears and Packers before they kick it off.
We should look into potentially doing a show a little later in the day if we can all get together.
We might be able to. My house is open. I'm more than happy to have you guys over.
Set up that camera right in your garage, man, and just have a watch party.
Shoot out a text to.
I can't do that, but
to Zach Pearson.
I did, and he never responded.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, guys. I love you. Love everybody in the chat. Too many of y'all to name.
Anything you want to get out there before we wrap up?
Shit. Fuck Green Bay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody in the
Green
chat.
Bay.
Hey, Steve. Thanks, man. We appreciate you.
Steve, we love you, man. Hey, hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already.
We love all you guys, man. You guys take care of yourselves. We can take care of each other. We'll see you Wednesday, man. Take it easy, boys.
Bird
See you Wednesday. Bird down, everybody.